Welcome back to your favorite day of the week, your favorite show to listen to and watch, the Childish Grown-Up Show. And we are the Childish Grown-Ups. I'm one of the hosts, the world-class Mo, aka Mo Cachino. But I'm not alone. I'm here with my two wonderful co-hosts that help keep this thing rocking like it does. Mia B, Ash Bash is here. But not only that, we got the drink in us going back to back. We got our other big cousin in us today. My man, Big Rich Town, Kyron from the Culture Garden podcast coming behind our big cuz last week's school. Rich, how you feeling, bro?
I'm doing well, man. Feeling well. I appreciate it, man. Honored to be here, man. Thank you. Thank you for thinking about the little people and, giving us a platform to express our thoughts and feelings on films, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to Mia, man, for extending the invite, all of that. I'm happy to be here. I'm very happy to be here.
Very happy to be great this day of my life.
Yeah, shout out to y'all, man. What's up? How y'all feeling?
Feeling great. Happy to be here as usual. I'm feeling good.
There you go. There you go, man. You're welcome, by the way.
for what?
I'm here. Like, y'all welcome. Y'all made it.
humble Brad should have saved. Breath is crazy. This is what I deal with every Thursday. Y'all check out our other pod, man. No more having
how niggas act when they've been in the gym a little bit.
Lifting heavy stuff.
Looking healthy.
You know what I mean? Throwing heavy stuff around. You know what I mean? I feel good.
Moving tables, you know what I mean? Moving furniture out here.
There you go. Hey, on my Bobby Bacala. You know what I'm saying? Soprano home movies. Moving stuff around.
But man, we are back in this thing. Of course, glad to be here as always. We're gonna have another great episode. To this episode, we will be concluding our back to school rotation. And we'll be getting into our next rotation, hood films. We'll elaborate a little bit more for those that are from a different culture. If you don't know what that means, I find that hard to believe in this era, but we'll elaborate a little later. And Ash will have the grand reveal at the end of this episode of the next rotation. But we're still in the school getting things rocking. So to get things started, we do have a few comments from the Stoop kids. So let's see what we got here. They're both YouTube comments. Actually, we got something from IG as well. It's from some dude named Warren. I think he's active too. He's wrote in a few times, I believe.
Yeah.
He just hit me up on, like, he DM'd me about something and we were talking about The Wire. So shout out to him.
Yeah, I like that. Like we're getting a lot of these like crossover fans, which I'm really loving it a lot. Cause I'm like, this is like we're building it before it's actually established. So that's dope. But he said just finished the episode. This is the How High episode. And he says, even with all the crazy stuff in the movie that wouldn't go today, it's still funny. Shout out to School for the tripping reference. And I won't get into whether it's gay or not, but I'm with Ash. I couldn't picture putting the dead homie in a pack. Also, Jamal grinding the Cheetos in the rug was the original fuck your couch moment.
Nah, straight up.
Hey.
Definitely it was.
Hey. Oh man, y'all know what I'll try to give y'all some great content, but I still feel what I feel about that. The dead homie. But shout out to Ward, man. Thank you for writing in. He wrote in on Instagram.
They smoked up Tupac too.
Oh damn, that's crazy.
Maybe it wasn't Warren that hit me up. Maybe it was somebody else. But I know Warren. Shout out. I don't know him personally, but
yeah,
he's reached out. He supports. So shout out to Warren.
I sent this to the wrong email. Alrighty. All right, we got a comment from Sugar. She says, "You said that's your peoples, okay?
That's my cousin.
Your cousin, all right." She says, "Sursum ad summum."
Sursum ad summum is Latin. It means rise to the highest.
Rise to the height.
Rise to the highest is the Walnut Hills mantra.
Ah, okay. All right. See, that's why you're here. You know what I'm saying? That's why you get paid the big bucks.
Shout out to the Nut, man.
Yeah.
I'll be at the home opener this Friday.
Go Nut.
Hey, really living the raps out here with the back to school. You know what I mean?
Man. My sister's alma mater too. So shout out to Mia. Shout out to Big Sis. My brother coaches varsity football there. So yeah, a lot of Walnut Hills. My pops went to Walnut.
Oh man.
So a lot of Walnut Hills. Just voted #1 high school in Ohio. 73 in the nation. Yeah, shout out to Walnut.
Hey, I love it.
My dad also graduated from there.
You know?
It's a thing. It's a big deal.
Nah, it's rich history. No pun intended. In Ohio, man. Y'all always stayed like making us jelly over here. But shout out to Nap. Shout out to Ben Davis.
Man.
I guess.
Shout out to little cousin him.
Shout out to little cousin.
Shout out to BD 2011.
You know what I'm saying? The purple's still here. But nah. And then also we got one more comment from Mama C. She's the stoop kid of all stoop kids. She said, "Love when the big cousins come over. It's a whole vibe."
And we love when you listen, Mama C. Thank you.
We sure do.
Hi, Mama.
Kyron, relax.
I'm just saying hi. I'm just saying hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi, Paris. Hi. That is all of our comments from the Stoop Kids. Y'all know y'all can hit us up on YouTube. Leave us an Apple review. That'd be very helpful. We would love that. Also, leave us an email, childishgrownups3@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram, The Childish Grown Ups Show, no spaces. We interact with you. We lock in with you. You never know. You could be a possible guest. We open-minded. So, but we thank all of the Stoop Kids for writing in today. And now it's time to get to our childish grown-up moments. My man, Rich.
Yeah.
The eldest of them all in this group we got. I'm
like
very interested. I'm very interested to see. Do you got a childish grown-up moment, man?
So not really. So I'm going to give you a little bit of insight on something that I found myself kind of addicted to, right? So I don't know how many people have their browsers or their laptops set up to this, but sometimes
I don't know if this is the platform.
Nah, relax. I don't know if you have Chrome or something, it doesn't do it. But if you still on Bing or MSN or whatever reason, especially if you were out there on a what am I trying to say? A work computer or something like that, you can open up a new tab and it's going to just pop up with all types of different stories, right? News stories, interesting stories, like just obscure stuff. And one of the things I've been addicted to is they'll have these random best wings in every state, best pizza in every state. And for some reason, I can't skip it. I always got to look. So yesterday, no lie, they literally had childhood snacks that were actually terrible. And I went through and it was a blast down memory lane. They had a bunch of stuff like Gushers, which they still make, Dunkaroos.
Oh, they ain't tripping. They trolling.
Wait, because
What you mean?
Dunkaroos is tripping. Gusher, it's good, but
It's trash.
it's okay.
The 6 foot bubble gum that came in the little round thing. I forget what it was called.
Like the tape measure one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the tape measure joint. They had that. They were talking about the high C blasters that they used to have, Go-Gurts, all types of stuff. So it was just one of those down memory lane moments. I haven't had anything personally to where I'm just like, yeah, this is a I've done this and felt childlike. But I need to do that. Like I need to kind of step into that. But yeah, I haven't really had any childish grown up moment in a while.
I think what you said, I definitely would say that counts. And I also think what you had said on Another Week in the Books, or what your sister had said, I think would be a perfect opportunity within this, because actually doing this show has made me start to like actually be intentional with trying to look for it, trying to find a way to tap into it. I'm actually trying to reach back in some kind of way in a week's time before we record to like tap into sometimes I succeed, sometimes I fail, but it's fun though. It brings a certain kind of joy when life is so serious. So I think that's dope. We look forward to the check-in next time we have you on here to see what you actually, tapped into. So
yeah, man, it's funny because I'll be back in Cincinnati. I haven't been in a while to actually spend some time there. So I'm gonna spend some time there soon. But one of the things I did last time I was home, if this counts, I don't know how many of y'all ever visit like empty malls.
Like inside?
Empty malls, like just malls that are just no longer malls or anything like that. You know what I'm talking about? So Mia will know what I'm saying, but there was a mall growing up, it was called Forest Fair Mall.
Oh,
then it was Cincinnati Mills. But they're closing it down. Not closing it down, it's been closed for a long time, but they're about to tear it down and build some other stuff up. But it was still open. Like you could go in there. Mall walkers would go in, but the mall's completely empty, deserted, the whole nine. And I went in there just because I had so many memories at that mall. They used to have a big Ferris wheel in there. They had bumper carts, mini golf. There was an arcade next to the movie theaters down there. Um, the food court, like all of these memories. They had a Big's grocery store upstairs, and it was just a spot. So I just remember being a kid, and my sister's older than me, so my sister might go to the movies, and I got all the quarters for the arcade, and I'm on the Ferris wheel, and I'm getting like, like it was just.
Oh man.
I can't replace those moments, man. I just remember like that being the time of my life. And so it was cool just to kind of walk through and just go down memory lane and have those memories, even though you can't live them anymore. But it was still like one of the last pieces of um, reality that really took place. So that was one of those. It really took me down memory lane for that.
Now you bodied that. Ain't nothing more depressing than like a mall that used to be jumping that ain't no more.
Man, it used to be jumping.
That's
Like
all
I'm talking
hard.
about Friday nights, like it was jumping.
Lafayette.
That's what I'm saying.
Indy.
Lafayette. My wife told me about East Washington Square on the east side. Lafayette was the west side, East Washington on the east side. It's like, man, dang. So all right, man. Boy, I gotta come back at her because that just like we're like the last era of a lot of things. So we more so got to be grateful than anything because everything is like so different. But Mia B, what about you? What you got?
Let's see. I have one that reminds me a lot of the ones that you usually have, Mo. So I was grocery shopping with my kids and getting my daughter her snacks for school and all of that. So she requested when we were in the snack aisle some cosmic brownies. And I was like, Joey, those are so gross. I was like, they used to be good when I was little, but I feel like they're not as good as they were. And she was like, just get it. So I got them for her. She loves them. She's a child. She don't know no better. But I called myself wanting to, maybe I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Maybe it's still good. It's not.
Oh dang! I thought we was about to get a plot twist.
That was on the list too, by the way, Mia. Cosmic brownies were on that list I looked at.
Now that belongs on the list. Gushers, they can go to hell because I love Gushers, but
that's just nothing but sugar with goo.
Okay.
I told you how I feel about it.
The explosion.
First of all, your reasons just be ridiculous.
I don't even know what it is, but knowing Mo, I know exactly what his reason was. I know exactly what his reason was.
That's why I'm leave it there. I ain't gonna say it again.
I'm not talking. Anyway. So yeah, the cosmic brownies taste like death. Like I don't know why those are still on the market at all. Let's see. Was there anything else?
I ain't mad at that. Like that might be a good little journey to see what didn't taste good as a kid. Go back and see if it tastes different now.
I eat too healthy now. Like all that stuff would probably knock me down. Like zebra cakes. Yeah. I used to love zebra cakes. Nothing but sugar.
I'm about to say just maybe like don't even like maybe get like the single joint at gas station, cut a sliver, toss the rest just to see if it, you know what I mean? So you ain't breaking it. Like it's like a slight little cheat, but you ain't
Star
committed.
Crunch. Yeah. No, it ain't even about that. It's just I don't think I would enjoy it.
Oh, okay. I feel you.
The Star Crunch is still top tier.
Star Crunch still top tier?
I ain't had it, bro.
I haven't had them.
But I feel like they made them smaller though. There's definitely not the guy.
You know what messed me up for real?
Yeah.
Realizing that they changed a lot of recipes of things. Yeah. So the last time I had a strawberry shortcake, the ice cream joint, I was so disappointed.
Okay. Yep. I thought
that was my go-to when the ice cream truck pulled up. I had it. I'm like, this ain't the same thing.
Okay.
And that's when I realized our childhood gone.
Speaking of ice cream, this is probably childish as hell. Kyron will know what I'm talking about, though. We have a very popular, famous, Oprah-approved ice cream shop here, ice cream chain in Cincinnati called Grater's. Now, they have like a seasonal ice cream. It's a key lime pie ice cream. And
fire.
Like when I literally went to the Grater's drive-thru 3 times, like 3 days in a row to get that ice cream on my way home from work. So childish because why am I doing that? But it is amazing.
Do you ever get embarrassed and like, yo, I was just here. I don't want the same people to be there. I'm gonna go to a different one today.
No. Matter
So
of
you
fact,
ain't got no shame in your game.
by this time I have downloaded the app because I need to be getting my rewards.
For
I
sure.
mean, yeah, at that point, yeah, for sure. No doubt. Ash, what about you?
Nothing major, nothing topping what y'all got going on. I did wrestle, but that's not my story. I'm not gonna tell it because I don't want Mia saying anything.
Y'all always
Oh.
wrestling. We got it.
I don't want Mia saying anything.
Wrestling's code word now. I'm starting using it.
What
No,
you
no, I'm serious, but whatever.
wrestle, that's what y'all call it. Like
We really do like wrestle sometimes.
yeah, y'all wrestle.
But speaking of wrestling, me and the hubby, we did check out Monday Night Raw on Netflix. You know how they be having it live now.
Mhm.
We was like, let's just click on this just to see, because wrestling used to mean everything to us. So we click on it, and it was a lot of new people. Obviously, we didn't know a lot of them, but there was a title fight, and it was Rey Mysterio and some like fake Kurt Angle dude. I said, "Dang, Rey's still out here." 'Cause
Ray's still
Shout
out.
out to Ray,
I
man.
feel like he old in the mug, but so he was in a title match. He did lose, which was disappointing for the one time that we decided to tap back in, and then you didn't even win. I'm devastated. But the crowd wasn't into it really. Like, it's so different now. It didn't hit like when we were kids. Like, they wasn't hype or nothing, but we just clicked on, Monday Night Raw. Just checked out to see if it had that, that feel. But it was good to see Rey Mysterio. He still did his little spin move off the rope.
619.
Yeah, he still was getting to it. He almost won, but
Yeah.
you know how they do that flip pin, and then he got him out of there quick.
His son out there shaking it though. Dominic.
Oh, I've seen his son.
Yeah, his son out there. He kind of like doing like the in between Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero thing, which that was a story back in the day. Like, whose son is it? But yeah, he out there shaking it though.
But yeah,
still keeping
shout
up
out
with
to Rey
wrestling?
Mysterio.
Nah, that was a dude I was working with. Sorry, Ash, I mean, go ahead.
I know you good. I was just saying, shout out to Rey Mysterio though, still out there trying
Still hold
to
up.
get it was the Intercontinental belt too. So I was
Dang,
like,
that belt's still around, bro. I thought
that's
they got rid of it.
classic. I feel like he was like on the game that was a big belt in the RVD, and like it just brought me back.
Yeah, that was like cruiserweight, low key. But
yeah.
I'm gonna be. I would be more
Very,
brief.
very creative.
I love that. I
What
definitely.
you talking about?
It's just a really creative foreplay.
Look at her. Mia's so ready to write a novel. All right. My childish grown up moment's pretty light, but I'm going with it anyway. So y'all know how big of a deal noodles were back in the day, and like I don't know why we used to we would dare ourselves to just eat stuff so hot. Like I spoke about it on School's Pod about the red noodles. Like we put so much in hot sauce in the noodles that the noodles are red, and we used to do it with popcorn too. So much hot sauce in the popcorn was red. So I bought some noodles. It's like one of these like Asian brands. It's like a little, it's definitely like you got these noodles. You're kind of snobby because he's not ramen. You know what I mean? So I grabbed them. My daughter told me the day before. She was like, "Daddy, I don't mess with them. Them like super hot, super hot." And she was like, "Hey, they don't come with seasoning. They come with a sauce." I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "I better watch this." And I packed these joints to work. Man, listen. Bro, once I got into them, bro, I had to take my glasses off. Bro, I was drinking like a little sparkling flavored water, and I had to slide inside and get the water popping, bro. Bro, I was like going through it, bro, but I couldn't let it like get me. And I was like, when I got done, I was like, oh my God.
I ain't never heard of that. Like the noodles being that hot.
Man.
Were they in a pink? Like were they the Buldak?
Yeah, it's like one of them brands. It's it was the black one though. The black packaging.
Yeah. It has like
like
I love those.
No, they good though. They good, but man, bro, it took me back to like how spicy we used to like the solidifier back in the day was when you get that like when you're doing that to kind of like cool your mouth, you're trying to suck in air. That was like, now this is the heat. You know what I mean?
What was it? How you do it? What was it?
Yeah. So, man, but thank y'all for sharing. Yeah, shot his grown up
Wow.
moments. He's good. Hey, thank y'all for sharing y'all shot his grown up moments, y'all. Of course, y'all know the reach out. I gave y'all the handles in the description as well. One of the favorites, the fan favorite segments of the show. Ash, the floor is yours.
All right, man. As Mo said, shout out to the Stoop Kids. We are at 119 subscribers. Still trending. I think it was at 115. So,
I mean, like 3 last week.
well, that's what I'm saying. Shout out to the Stoop
Shout out
Kids.
to
We
them. Thank
appreciate
you.
all
What's
the
up, man?
support.
Shout
And
out to
with that
y'all
being
too.
said, it is now time for the Flash with Ash. And I'm going movie today. I'm keeping it light. You know what I mean? We got a packed house tonight. You got big cuz on, so
Big cuz.
we're going movies. You know, just keeping it light. So we're gonna start with Titanic. According to Cal, how many carats is the heart of the ocean? 42, 48, 56, or 64?
48.
That was gonna be my answer. 48.
I'll just say 64 to be different. I have no idea, bro. Like, what are we doing? Like,
Chill out, yo.
I told you, man. Hey, listen.
You're probably right.
I don't know for real.
But y'all done? Y'all said all your answers?
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Oh, it's 56 carats.
Oh.
Dang.
56 carats.
56. All right. These next two y'all should be straight. This is from next Friday. How much does Uncle Elroy discover they owe on the house by the next day? 2,500, 3,200, 3,900, or 4,500?
That's a good one because I seen Next Friday all the time.
I'm leaning on Rick. He's a movie guy for real.
I know,
They
but
said it, remember?
yeah, they definitely said it, especially. Damn, Daddy, I didn't know you had titties.
You say, I'm trying to think. Say, what's the numbers again?
4,500. It was 4,500.
That's-
Or
Y'all want the 2,500, 3,200, 3,900, or 4,500?
Yeah, I'm
Cause
probably.
ain't no way they was doing all that for 2,500.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Like,
I'm gonna say 3,900.
I'm gonna say
Mia is
45.
I'm going 45.
Mia's correct. 3,900.
3,900.
They
It was
wrote
like
that?
weird.
Why would they write
I'm
that?
ashamed.
It was so weird. I remember it was like this odd number. Like
I knew it was 3 something. I knew it was in the 3. Like I was gonna say 3,000. I knew it was something in the 3s.
I'm ashamed.
Yeah, I watched that movie the least out of them, so I wouldn't. I'm guessing everything here.
I went one, but I'm like, nah, it's too much of a layup on Friday one. But
That's
all right, so we're gonna finish off with In Too Deep. What does God tell Jay Reed his empire is worth? 8 mil, 11 mil, 15 mil, or 20 mil?
What are these questions at?
It's 8 or 11. It's 8 or 11 for sure.
Rich
I remember
don't
they were in the
point out
car.
man.
I remember for sure because they were in the car riding and he talked about it.
I'm going 11. Well,
I'm gonna go.
I'm guessing, so I don't know.
I'm gonna go with 11.
For some reason, 8's on my brain, but it could. It's 8 or 11 for sure. I'm pretty confident in one of those two, but I'm gonna say 8 just to be different.
For some reason, I just feel like I hear LL saying 11.
I think 11 is right, but I'm gonna go with 8 anyway.
11 mil is correct.
That's what I say, yeah.
11 mil is correct. Okay, so is everybody on the board?
Yeah, everybody's on the
Nah.
board.
Nah,
I'm not
I ain't
rich.
getting nothing right.
Wait. I thought you got the last one right.
I said it's probably 11, but I said 8
No,
to be
the
different.
one before that. I'm sorry.
He
I
said
said 3,500.
Oh, me and you both
45.
said 45 together. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Dang.
You know,
crazy.
it's all good. You know, you win some, you lose some, but you live. Fight another day.
That just means I need more invitations back so I can play more
Absolutely.
games.
You
Play more
absolutely can
rounds.
come
Need some more
back.
quarters, brother. We gotta get you some
There
more
you
quarters.
go. Hey, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, man.
But that is all for the Flash with Ash.
All right, man. Well, shoot. I when you said that, I thought you said going movies. I thought you were going this or that. I was like, oh wait, we doing trivia? I was
'Cause
thrown
I
off.
think I did that with Spike already. I feel like I did that.
Well, Spike ain't been. You mean with school?
Spike Lee.
Oh, Spike Lee. Okay, my
Yeah,
bad.
yeah. So
All
shout
right.
out to Spike Lee. Though.
Shout out to Spike Lee. All right. Well, we're about to time travel back into the year this film came out. But before we do that, we have not covered the year of 1988. So we got to get a lay of the land so we can feel immersed in the world of the movie we're going to be doing. So just to cover it real quick, a few movies that came out. Crazy year right here. Y'all ready? Coming to America, Die Hard, Beetlejuice, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Big, Rain Man, The Land Before Time, Child's Play, Coming to America, The Naked Gun, Above the Law. As far as television go, The Cosby Show was the biggest show on television. Roseanne premiered and became an immediate hit. The Wonder Years premiered. One of my favorite shows. I'm coming up with a logo right now in the Wonder Years style. The Golden Girls was still huge. A Different World premiered as a Cosby Show spinoff. It's crazy we brought up Different World earlier. Murphy Brown. Cheers remained one of television's biggest sitcoms, and The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was still a couple years away. He was like right on the brink of it. As far as major releases musically, Public Enemy, It Takes a Nation of Millions to Hold Us Back, NWA, Straight Outta Compton, EPMD, Strictly Business, Big Daddy Kane, Long Live Kane, Boogie Down Productions, came out by All Means Necessary. Eric B. and Rakim followed the leader. DJ, Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince, he's the DJ, I'm the rapper. And some other huge music, Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror, Whitney Houston's One Moment in Time, Bobby Brown's My Prerogative, George Michael's Faith, and Guns N' Roses. As far as video games go, Super Mario 2 came to America. The Legend of Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link, Mega Man 2, Contra, love that. Double Dragon, love that too. Ninja Gaiden and Dragon Quest 3 was huge in Japan as far as fashion goes. Starter style athletic gear was emerging, high top sneakers, members only jacket. Shout out to Rick, you know what that is. Track suits, Kango hats, gold chains, acid wash denim, parachute pants, big sweaters, bright colors, leather jackets, high top fades. As far as sports go, we got Michael Jordan, was becoming the face of the NBA in 1988 slam dunk contest. Jordan famously won with his free throw line dunk. Yeah, I know that. I can find it on YouTube right now. We know that it was the Lakers versus the Detroit Pistons in that finals, and the Lakers won that championship with Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. As far as tech goes, people were using VHS tapes, as far as VCRs, cassette tapes, boom boxes, Walkmans, rotary phones, Atari and Nintendo, arcade machines, film cameras, encyclopedias instead of Google. And lastly, what everyday life was like? McDonald's with a Big Mac, McNugget fries, and a Happy Meal. We get pizza from Domino's, and Pizza Hut was doing their thing. Hip hop was exploding. Nintendo was taking over our childhood, and Eddie Murphy was dominating Hollywood. Michael Jordan was becoming the superstar of America, and this was moving from the Reagan era towards culture of the 1990s, and that is the lay of the land of 1988. Mia B, close that door and take us back to the movie that we were viewing today.
Real quick, my bad.
Yeah.
Mo, I got something for you, my brother.
Okay.
When you move to Naptown and I pull up on you, I got something for you. I got the Wonder Years box set with the locker. It's never been open, right? So I never opened this. I got it from a friend of mine some time ago.
I am jelly.
So when you just said that, like literally, it's not even unwrapped. Like, so this is yours, my brother, when I see you.
Hey man, you're too good. You're too good to me, brother. You always give me stuff, man.
That is so sweet.
Oh.
Yeah, as soon as you said it, I'm like, man, that's been sitting there. Like I said, it was, an old friend.
Hey man.
A friend from maybe like 5 years ago. So that lets you know it's been there for a while. I ain't opened it. So let me give it to somebody who's going to appreciate it. And,
man.
I love the Wonder Years, but I don't think I watch it on DVD. So I think you probably would. So there you go.
Yeah,
Add to your physical media, man. My bad. So
thanks, man.
Mia, It's on to you, man.
Nice.
Oh, that is so nice.
Hey, he a real one, man. I appreciate it. He always doing stuff for me, man. That's big cuz for
Hey,
real, for
my
real.
dog, man, my dog.
No, it's blushing.
Nah, hey man, hey, you gonna be in Hollywood anytime soon? Damn.
Anyway,
All right.
we are going back to the year 1988 to
Oh
talk
man.
about the Spike Lee joint School Days. Set during homecoming week at a fictional historic black college, HBCU, called Mission College, the story follows student political activists clashing with fraternity and sorority members over social status, hazing, colorism, and class divisions. So the cast here is really stacked in a lot. So I'm going to do it a little different. I'm going to say the main cast, and then anyone who's in like a group, I'm just going to say the name of the group and list their names. So we have Lawrence Fishburne as Vaughn Dap Dunlap, Giancarlo Esposito as Julian Big Brother Almighty Eves, Spike Lee as Daryl Half Pint Dunlap, Tisha Campbell as Jane Toussaint, Kai May as Rachel Meadows, Joe Seneca as President McPherson, Art Evans as Cedar Cloud, Greg Burge as Virgil Cloud, and then we have the fellas, Bill Nunn as Grady, James Bond the third as Monroe, Kadeem Hardison as Edge, Branford Marcellus as Jordan, Eric Payne as Booker T. Then we have the Gammites, and we have Anthony Tompkins, Guy Killam, Dominic Hoffman, Roger Glenvere Smith, Kirk Taylor, Kevin Rock, and Eric Dellums. Then we have, I didn't list all of the girls because there were so many of them, but notables, we have the Jigaboos, Joey Lee, Spike Lee's sister, Alva Rogers, and we have the Gamma Rays, notable ones, Jasmine Guy. And we also have appearances from Cassie Davis and AJ Johnson as Paula and Cecilia, the girls in the window. We have an appearance from Samuel L. Jackson as Lee, the local, the Ozzie Davis as Coach Odom, and this film was released February 12th, 1988.
All right. Oh man. Thank you for that, Mia B. For time traveling us up to this movie and telling us about the cast. All right, so we got our big cuz on here, man, and they have done this at the Culture Garden. So I'm interested. My question is going to be a little twofold. So my first question is not about your first time watching it, more so than it's about how your earliest memories around this movie and the lore that you remember around it, and then also what made you come back and discuss it again. I know you said off air like you're going to discuss movies more than once, but what made this be the one like, oh, I'm ready to talk about it again and chop it up, because y'all did drop a classic on us when y'all did that. So I was very intrigued when I heard that you accepted the invitation.
Nah, I appreciate that. Well, I'll answer the first question. I mean, the second question first. Y'all asked, like, I really have to hate a movie for y'all to ask me to be on, like, as a guest on your platform and just say no. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just not something I could see myself doing. So regardless if I've talked about it 10 different times or done whatever, I'm definitely going to be more than excited to join y'all and have a conversation about a film. I said it, like Mo just mentioned, you don't watch movies once just to talk about them once. And on top of that, I love getting different perspectives. You know, I could talk about one movie with 20 different people, and maybe I learn something or look at something differently than how I've always viewed it. So that part was easy. Also, I enjoy being in conversations where I have a unique perspective to give. So I'm looking at this movie and I'm thinking about myself, like, you know, I'm being Greek, like me being Greek. I'm a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, made an appearance in this film. Even joining the conversation with Mia, having spent some time at a HBCU. My sister went to a HBCU, so that's a whole like subplot in itself. And going back to the first question, I didn't see this film into college, because I always tell people my era of Spike Lee, because it's incredible, right? When you think about Spike Lee, and you think about his first six movies out the gate, he has She's Gotta Have It, School Days, Do the Right Thing, uh, Mo Better Blues, Jungle Fever, Malcolm X. That's his first six movies out the gate. Like, how do you even top that? I always tell people my era of Spike Lee, and of course, I remember seeing Malcolm X in the theaters when I was a kid. But I also was He Got Game. I was 11 when He Got Game came out, and that was like my real first introduction into picking movies on my own and all that kind of good stuff. But I didn't. I watched this. There was the lore around it. I knew it was one of those. Hey man, if you're going to college, you got to check this out. You got to kind of see what it's about. And I didn't know what I was getting myself into. So I was 18 or so when I first saw this, and I just remember um, being so intrigued, especially when I was at that point of like Greek life. Is that something I could do or not? And you see the stuff and you know, like, all right, man, I ain't getting into all of it. But it has so many larger conversations. So I wasn't even mature enough, I believe, to really have a full scope on what this film was trying to say, and what the conversation was going to be around. But as I get older with each watch, I appreciate it more and more. I think it is one of those movies that the lore is like, if you would have asked me what would you choose between She's Gotta Have It and School Days? I think without thinking, I would have said School Days. But the more I think about it, they're completely different movies, and I have to really give more thought. So it's one of those big, nostalgic, important films, but I don't know if it ranks as high on my Spike Lee hierarchy as it would have 20 years ago, if that makes any sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my memory with it. College, man. Just one of
Yeah,
those, you had to see it. You got to see this film. So I
yeah.
remember going to Best Buy, buying it on DVD, and the rest, as they say, was history.
Mm. Okay. Mia B. What about you? What's the how do you remember this movie? And what was it like this time?
Well, I have watched this movie a trillion times over the years. I can quote this movie and like the back of my hand. Y'all know I'm a Spike Lee stan. I go up to Spike Lee, good bad. I know, as is he a perfect filmmaker? No, but he's one of my favorite filmmakers. Um, and I saw this film fairly young. I want to say before high school for sure. Because y'all know my mom is my OG cinephile, and she introduced me to this film. Just like our favorite family Spike Lee film, Crooklyn, which everybody seems to be hating on, but we won't even go there. But yeah, I love this movie at first sight. It is what really inspired me to want to go to an HBCU in the first place. For everything about this just felt so culturally significant to me. Even though it was a different time, there was just something about seeing different young black people from different walks of life come into this space, like, for education, but still kind of have their own identities. And it was just really cool to me. Like, and I have, of course, my perspective on it has shifted over the years with more life experience, having gone to an HBCU, even if it was only for 5 minutes. I went to the same HBCU, I'm pretty sure, that Kyron's sister went to. Uh,
Hmm.
and that was a pivotal experience for me. It was like a life shaping experience. And I I love Lawrence Fishburne. It was just such a this film means a lot to me in the way that a lot of Spike Lee films do, but I think this one holds just a special place in my heart because of the subject matter, which is why I asked Kyron to come on, because I always feel like when the subject of Greek letter organizations, especially Black Greek letter organizations, you have to have somebody who's Greek in the conversation, because there's a certain level of reverence or perspective that we can't really give it because we didn't live that experience necessarily. But yeah, and even watching it now, it's the same. I've always loved this movie, and I'll always love this movie.
I got a project for you coming out soon, Mia. Speaking of Spike Lee, I'll address it more later down the line. But like in the next few weeks, I got a project I'm working on for content. So
Okay.
yeah, I think you'll appreciate it.
Ash.
Well, this was actually a press play for me. I thought I saw this. I feel like see one Spike Lee movie is see them all. And I felt like I saw it, but then as I'm watching it, that wasn't the case because none of it was familiar to me at all. Um, and I almost went to TSU. That's crazy though. Me and one of my best friends years ago, we almost went to TSU, but plans changed. But after watching it, I understand pieces that Spike was trying to say. But as the movie, like again, I'm not a Spike Lee fan. I just don't like his style of storytelling. It felt like 17 different storylines trying to fight for screen time. Like it's very scatterbrained, and that's how a lot of his movies come off to me. Again, there's some heavy messaging in here, and I know that's just his style. Like Mia said before, he's an acquired taste, which he's not my taste. So I'm never like jumping for joy to watch a Spike Lee film. It's just not it's just not for me. But so yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I can say that I have watched it, and I know you guys will be able to provide more insight as we go through the film. Like I said, there definitely was some things in here that are still relevant today, unfortunately. But as the movie as a whole, like I just feel like there's different ways to present the information and the message, and in what he determines how he wants to present it is just not for me. So yeah.
Real quick before Mo goes, I will say, going off of what you just said, it's interesting watching him fumble around. You know what I mean? Because like I said, this is his second film, and it's completely different than She's Gotta Have It. She's Gotta Have It has really four actors, and it's black and white, very limited set, and you can tell he had a little bit more freedom. And it almost seems like that. Like, you know what? I got a bigger budget. I got a little bit more freedom. Let me just kind of see what works. And there's a lot of things you can see where it's almost like a thesis film or something like that, where it's a school project more than anything. So I find that fascinating when you say that because you can definitely tell, you know,
It was
he
just
ain't all the way there yet.
yeah, it was just look, it was a little chaotic, you know. We had of course the songs in there and stuff like that. Just again, like it's just
Yeah, cohesion is a definitely an issue. But for me, I watched this movie a few years ago, like maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3 at most. Randomly, I seen it. And I was like, man, I ain't seen this before. Like, oh, it's a Spike Lee joint. Let me just tap into this. You know, get in a little bit more into it. And when I watched it, then I enjoyed it. Then, like, I was just like, it just felt different. Again, similar to Ash sentiment. Like, what I don't like about Spike Lee is the same reason I do like Spike Lee. I don't like that he's just so heavy-handed. He's so heavy-handed on this is our point, like message, you know, but I like him for that same reason because he has a style established. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like, hey, listen, this is that, you know what I mean? Literally, this is that Spike Lee joint. You know, this is my flavor. So y'all know when y'all see my movies, this is the flavor I'm providing. This is the color pattern I'm providing for you. So it's always that thing with him. I appreciate it, even though it's not always my cup of tea. We're gonna have a discussion about that in a moment. Watching it this time, I felt similar thoughts. You know, I thought I wasn't going to enjoy it, but I enjoyed it again. Actually, I think I enjoyed this a little bit more than we've done. What, 3 Spike Lee movies? This will be our 3rd, right? We did He Got Game, Crooklyn.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Okay, I almost thought we did 4, but like, so this is our 3rd Spike Lee movie, and for some reason to me, even though it is chaotic, like Ash says, as far as it's got a little bit of a cohesion problem. I liked it because it felt more relaxed. I don't know, to me. Like there were some heavy-handed parts, but it felt a little bit more relaxed. It's probably because it is a college setting. And I'm like, I kind of like that versus like a He Got Game, which is a high schooler, trying to make a decision what you're gonna do, but it felt so heavy. You know what I mean? This felt lighter, even though they were covering, deeper issues with Black funding and Black identity and Greek life and how serious life can be. But at the same time, it's like, bro, you got to live and just have fun and being the first one. There's so many different messaging and points in here. Colorism, and, all these things that he had to say. He used his film to do it. So I enjoyed it still this time. It is not without critique. I definitely got some things that I didn't like about it. But out of all the Spike Lee movies, at least that I've seen, this one I enjoyed. It felt, I don't know. It felt. Maybe to me it felt a little more fun maybe than it's supposed to feel. I was having fun with it because I was having fun with it. I felt I was a part of it. There were some heavy parts, but so much similar to Rich. I think it's just there's a nostalgia to it, even though I won't watch a few years ago. But I also did attend college. I wasn't in a I would just say I was in a non-Greek organization. That's the best way to put it. I've been downplaying it for years, but we did have to go through a process similar to that. And we did have to know our history. There was a lot of other things. It wasn't quite to that level, but it was a brotherhood and it was an organization. And I've said for years it's like the great value version, but I don't want to discredit that anymore because we really had to work our ass off to cross over. And
I'm glad you said that because you do always downplay it.
I do downplay it, like just because it's like when you amongst a person that's Greek, then you just be like, you above that. But then I was like, man,
that's your history though. That's your story.
Yeah, but like, nah, bro, that shit was emotional. It was tough. It was some really difficult moments, and I was a timekeeper. All that. So but anyway, yeah, for real.
Y'all had timekeepers?
Yeah, we had a line leader and a timekeeper.
Crazy.
Yeah, a line leader and a timekeeper.
I was a timekeeper in my line. I didn't know y'all did stuff like that. I'm dead serious. I really was.
No, that's tight. No, that's tight. They actually later down the road, they were like, you should have been the leader. Like they let one of our other bros be the leader, but that's because he was like athletic, bulky, muscular. But he had told me like, bro, you should have been the leader. They just picked me because I'm so like, type. But it's like, you should have been the leader. And that once I crossed over, I was like a freshman on the EC board, and I was a secretary, and then the next year I was a president. Like sophomore year, right into president.
Say what the name of your organization is?
Oh, it was a BMI, Black Male Initiative.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, on Vincennes University, the first college in Indiana. So yeah, Black Male Initiative. So I was glad because I got to be in that history. So when they were still doing it, like they would have to mention my name and like who are all of the presidents, because we had to know that who are all the presidents of BMI. So I would be in that list.
You gotta whisper my name.
Oh, goodness.
Right, goodness.
You know what's better than what, Rich?
Right.
My goodness.
Yes.
I am curious too. I always wondered how people who didn't go to college or aren't college adjacent, so maybe they don't have family members that
like campus. You mean campus wise?
Yeah, like a campus wise. I always wonder what they think about this film.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Because it hits harder when you've experienced it. That's why a lot of things resonate. Even though I think it is an outside looking in, I'm always fascinated by stuff I'm not a part of. So it's an inside peek, but it does. Some of the issues make more sense. If there was anything confusing, if you go into college, everything in here is a real thing. Like from the cliques to the disdain for different groups, all of that. So I always find that interesing.
Mm-hmm.
The locals and how they feel about
the locals.
The locals. How
that was a thing. That was a thing.
I talked about the Toledo locals, boy.
Hey man, listen to Vincennes. They was cool out in Vincennes though. They was just country folks. So.
That nigga from Toledo up the strap on me, bro. Shit crazy.
Hey man, he was acting like the NWA movie when he stopped the bus, and got on the bus like, "Hey, y'all go to school."
I still ain't even mad at it because I understand why he did it. Like I get it.
Like, hey man,
it wasn't for no reason. I was on some asshole shit. I get it.
Yeah, my bad.
Damn, you gotta pull the gun out.
Shit. Damn, my bad, bro.
It ain't that deep.
I never do that again. Just a few interesting information. One thing that stood out to me while we're getting into the overall discussion, the film debuted in theaters when A Different World, 1987, which also took place at a fictional HBCU, was in the middle of its first season. Jasmine Guy, Daryl Bell, and Kadeem Hardison, all of whom played minor supporting roles in the film, starred in the show. Tisha Campbell guest starred on 2 episodes as Josie Webb, an HIV positive student. Roger Guinevere Smith appeared in 5 episodes as Professor Howard Randolph, an African American history professor. So that, I think that's interesting. Tisha Campbell says she had no idea what Jigaboo was prior to joining the project.
Yeah, that name's crazy.
Yeah, that again, there's.
I will say something about my boy Spike. He does still hold on to some very problematic language when it comes to black. Like, if you watch a lot of his movies, there are certain terms that are repetitive that you'll hear a lot that are problematic, but I feel like the way that he means it isn't problematic. You know, kind of like mulatto, octoroon, quadroon, jigaboo, like those are problematic, but I feel like the way that he uses it within the context of the film makes sense.
I also think I think it was more normal in '88. You know what I mean? Like now is definitely like whoa, but I think the idea, and like we said earlier, Spike is always going to get his point across. Mo mentioned
Very
he's
heavy.
heavy-handed in that sense, so it makes sense as to why if he had his mind stuck on something. Like Spike has there's some problematic things with him. Even we talked about it in Mo Better Blues, certain things that you know you can't excuse it. It's just part of who Spike is, and hopefully he gets better. I think he's gotten better over time, but yeah, it's definitely when you look back, like ooh,
Yeah. This was supposed to be his second film in a 3-film deal with Island Pictures after She's Gotta Have It. However, Lee got a call from Island saying they no longer wanted to make the film because it was too expensive, and they'd lost confidence in Lee and his production crew. The next day, Spike Lee was at Columbia Pictures with Dave Putman and David V. Picker for a negative pickup deal. The budget was increased to $6.5 million, and the film was made. There's one more thing that I thought was super interesting, and I'm gonna leave it at that. There's a lot of interesting information, but this will be the last thing. Spike Lee had the actors stay in separate hotels during filming. The actors playing the wannabes, which is the light skins, had better accommodation than the ones playing the jigaboos, the dark skin, which contributed to the on-camera animosity between the two camps. In fact, the fight that occurred in the scene at the Greek show between Gap's crew and the Gammas was not scripted, according to Lee. When the brawl broke out between the two groups, he ordered the cameras to continue rolling.
Rule number 1: keep the cameras rolling all times. Yeah, that's a
Facts.
real thing. That really happened. So
it's facts. So yeah, that's crazy. Like that remind me of what you were saying about Sugar Hill, and you start talking about what is it, 5 Heartbeats.
Michael Wright, his method acting, and all that stuff. Yeah,
that remind me of that, where it's like, oh Lord, I'm going to manipulate this a certain way to get this type of result. So that's just a little bit of information there. Now, getting into the overall discussion of the film before we kind of get into like where we want to go, I got to bring up two of these, the writers, producers, directors. It's 2 people that I think particularly, and there's more than them, but I'm bringing them 2 up: Spike Lee and the late great John Singleton. Okay, I'm gonna name a few movies, so I want to have this conversation just briefly about style of film and trying to get a particular message across that lets us use, and we'll use these legends for example. So Spike Lee, I'm gonna name a few movies. There's plenty more, but I'm trying to tie them kind of together. All right, so Spike Lee, She's Gotta Have It, 1986, School Days, 1988, Do the Right Thing, 89, Mo Better Blues, 90, Jungle Fever, 91, Crooklyn, 94, He Got Game, 98. John Singleton, Boys in the Hood, 91, Poetic Justice, 93, Higher Learning, 95, Rosewood, 97, Shaft, 2000, Baby Boy, 2001.
classic.
Hey man, I gotta stop playing over there. Go ahead, drop it on me. Um, I want to ask first off, what is y'all preference in the style of storytelling between the two? And I want to let me say this too. No, I'll leave it there. I'll say that after. So, what is your preference in storytelling? Because I look at there's some films that have similarities, but they're obviously in their own style, doing something different, and they're just completely different films. But what is your preference in storytelling between John Singleton and Spike Lee?
Me personally, I prefer Spike Lee. Don't get me wrong, I love John Singleton. I think he was brilliant. But for me, I appreciate Spike Lee's artistic expression. I feel like it's not perfect because he's such an artist in the way that he presents his work. It's less of a movie and more of a work of art. Like, so it can be a little abstract at times where it doesn't feel like it flows. Kind of it like, for example, having scenes cut to, musical scenes within a scene that is real life. It's a little bit more what happens in his head when he thinks of a certain idea, and not necessarily the realism of the idea itself, if you know what I mean. It's more like Spike Lee's films are his vision of the point he's trying to make, and he uses it as a device, to portray a certain message. So that's why it might feel a little chaotic. It might be a little bombastic. There's a lot going on because it's just him bringing what's in his head out in its raw form without necessarily polishing it into a seamless film.
Yeah. Um, that makes complete sense. I personally, I'm gonna agree with Mia. I'm gonna say Spike mainly because John Singleton is more digestible as far as just your singular storytelling or more linear storytelling, where you can kind of have the plot, beginning, middle, end, follow along with the characters, all of that. But there is something special about just kind of figure out this puzzle of what this person is trying to say. And I think he was one, I don't want to say one of the first ones, but he never was shy about his artistic expression, Spike Lee. And I think that gives me better insight, whether I agree or not. Like we talked about She Hate Me, and that came out in '04, and I still think to this day Spike was trolling. Like he was just trolling with that movie, bro. Like he was just. But there's also something good to say about having that freedom to do it. But I think of Spike. Spike is kind of he's not at Wes Anderson's level. So Wes Anderson's one of those directors. If you like Royal Tenenbaums, Grand Budapest Hotel, Phoenician Scheme, like he's very, very you either like him or you don't. Like there
Yeah,
is no middle ground. You know what I mean? Like he's not somebody you don't want to just go to the theater blindly to see one of his movies because you're gonna be like, what in the world was that? But if you get a little bit of history about him, you kind of know what's going on. I feel like Spike's the same way to a smaller degree. And like Mia said, it's his message. It's almost like a documentary told in film style, where this is my point of view. It's not about truth or lies or what's right or wrong. This is just how I feel about this. So he has these big topics. So we get to like obviously school days and apartheid and just light skin versus dark skin and locals versus college life. You think about He Got Game and high school prospects navigating this world of everybody trying to leech off of them and taking this next step. He, do the right thing, which obviously I think is his just it's just a beautiful film from top to bottom. I think that's maybe his most complete film. But in the madness, you still get some good stuff. You still get like your 25th hour. You still get your Clockers, a perfect example of that, right? Clockers is one of those movies where you look at it and it's like, yo, if John Singleton had Clockers, it'd be a completely different film. But Spike is just gonna put his twist on it. So I appreciate the creativity. It's frustrating at times, don't get me wrong. Because sometimes you just want vanilla ice cream. Like, bro, I ain't need all this extra stuff. I just wanted the vanilla, man. That's all I wanted today. But you're gonna get it anyway, and it's a gift and a curse that comes with it.
Amen.
I think John got to be vanilla though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
Well,
you know,
no. Well, I know.
fair,
I
fair.
mean, I know what he mean. He just
just a
said,
little bit of,
"Nah,
we get some
John ain't vanilla."
Napoleon in there, some chocolate, couple sprinkles. Like,
Fair.
vanilla is crazy.
Yeah,
John ain't vanilla.
John ain't saying like I'm just saying in
He's saying
general.
like
John ain't
you
vanilla.
want
Oh, okay.
Spike to go vanilla.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want Spike to go vanilla sometimes. Like, just
Oh,
tell
okay,
me
okay,
this
okay.
story in the way. Make this movie the way John Singleton would make it. It doesn't mean it's gonna be vanilla, but it's not gonna be all this extra stuff that you have in there or so opinionated. Like Spike is very, very opinionated in his films.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I
like I
got
said, most of the best message. Like we get it, Spike. But it's
you.
also
Get
very
it,
good, great
got it.
storytelling.
Get that you
Absolutely.
like to put gin in your juice. But so my
I can't believe I'm here.
you got the brother and the sister. You know what time it is.
Yeah, I
But
already know.
my preference is John Singleton, obviously. Um, because I do like the gradual, like you said, the storytelling about John is mostly seen through the character's experiences, and I feel like Spike is message first. Obviously, it's like Mia said, it's his art. Just whatever's in here is splattered onto the screen, and that's fine. Again, but my preference is John, just seeing it through the characters as they go through these different experiences. Higher learning, obviously, we got Omar, and then you got the skinheads, and so it just like I really like Higher Learning, even though it pissed me off, right? It still pissed me off. So it still had those pools in there, you know what I mean? Those hot topics. But I still enjoyed the movie, even though I was angry, because it was real. You know what I mean? That was a real thing. But I still just like how John presented it more, and I just feel like the message is getting across throughout the film cohesively. And with Spike, again, it's just kind of like splattered on the screen, whatever is busy. Um, and again, that's his right. That's his, what he prefers. And maybe it'll go away. Like maybe if he doesn't get it out exactly how he thinks of it, we wouldn't have, like you said, Spike wouldn't have his unique style. Like if he did try to filter his thoughts and how he wanted, like, he's like, oh, he think of it, and then he's like probably writing it right away. You know what I mean? So I get that, and I respect him for the culture. So it's no digs. It's just, it's just preference. But yeah,
Yeah,
I would
100%.
prefer John Singleton. I just like the way that he presents his social issues just through the characters' experiences rather than like, wake up, like, like, bro, I got it. But
Like I
Yeah.
like to compare, like John Singleton's films are like an essay and Spike Lee's films are like a poem. It's just like
That's fair.
like it might not be as clear, but you get the message.
I say I think I like that. I kind of remix it a little bit. I think John Singleton's movies are like a verse, and Spike Lee's is like a poem. Because I think it's more than an essay. An essay is too by the book, and I think there's a little bit more risk in a verse. And again, poetry can be turned into a verse. So Spike Lee has that ability to do that as well. So I'm no shocker here, but I'm going more John Singleton. I respect Spike Lee for what he does, but I just for my palate, what I like, I just prefer that it. Sometimes Spike Lee's joints become cartoony to me. I hate to, I can't really put it no other way, but it's just these moments that become very animated. And again, these are extremes to get the point across because it's film. It's his creativity. So I'm not mad at it, but it does feel cartoony, and it does feel like it's a sign of the times when making the movie. But it's one of the things where you had zero thought about how this will age. I just got to get this message out in this time, in this moment. And like it works for that time, and you have to suspend where you are to look at that time. Versus like John Singleton, it's still a time film, but some stuff really ages better in his films, in my opinion. Like you look at this movie in comparison to like a Higher Learning, you know what I mean? Or you'll look at, like a Jungle Fever in comparison to like a Poetic Justice, or kind of these characters from two different worlds coming together and kind of the romance built there. So it's just different styles, different palettes, different preference. But I respect Spike. His films I ain't mad at, because I do like the fact that it's gonna wake you up. You ain't about to be chilling and falling asleep on a Spike Lee film. You know what I mean? I like that. So that ain't a problem for me. But I prefer.
I had one small thing that I wanted to bring up just out of the universe, and this we don't have to have the conversation. I just find it fascinating. I always wonder what would happen if Lawrence Fishburne stayed in the Spike Lee like realm, right?
Mhm.
Because he went to the John Singleton
Right.
side.
Right.
You know, because you look at him, most of the people, when I'm looking at this film, Bill Nunn, Giancarlo Esposito, all these people, they're in Mo Better Blues. They're in Do the Right Thing. They're in the next few films following. He Got Game. Like I know Giancarlo isn't, but Bill Nunn plays the uncle. You know, Spike keeps his same actors
Yeah.
pretty much in all
Oh
his
yeah.
movies.
Oh yeah.
I always wonder what would happen if we get Lawrence Fishburne in a Mo Better Blues or in a,
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean, Jungle Fever, and just kind of playing more of that prominent role within where he ended up being, you know, Furious Styles, and he was in Higher Learning and all these other things. It's just very fascinating to me when I think about it. But
Yeah.
you know, it's always dope to see both of them. You know, they both are titans in the culture. And I wish John had more work too, man. I just wish he
Yeah.
had more
Yeah.
projects that he was able to do. May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
But the ones he did give us, man, is definitely timeless.
Yeah. Made our childhood for sure. One more question. Why do y'all think Tisha Campbell was never able to cross over into music as well as television? We see there's a lot of people that were multifaceted, multi-talented. Back then, we know Vanessa Williams was one of those people. I mean, we know Tashina Arnold. I don't think she had the ambition. She really wanted to do that or pursue it. You know, Jamie Foxx, before he finally did blow away after the fact, he put out an album in the 90s. Why do y'all think Tisha Campbell? Because in this movie, I was going to be critical about it, but then I thought about the year, and when it came out, I said, you know, that's 80s. That's kind of out there type style music, that pop R&B thing, and her voice fits that texture. Because I normally don't like her voice. I don't think she's that good, in my opinion, or she's not. I don't like her voice that much. But in this sense, the more I kept listening, I was like, yo, it fits. So, and she's sang in obviously Little Shop of Horror. So why do y'all think that Tisha Campbell never was able to make that crossover appeal? And I know it wasn't popular back then, but some people was able to do it. So why y'all think she wasn't able to do that, in your opinion?
That's a great question. And I have no idea. I have no thoughts on it. I don't like her singing voice either. Like I've never been a fan, but I did like that song in this movie though. That I thought it was definitely catchy. I was bobbing to it, so I did like the song. Sure. Like I haven't heard anything. I don't even remember her really talking about it too much. I think she did have at least one album, right? And I don't know if that did well or not, but could be, you know, the acting just took off further and then she just stuck with that. I mean, I don't know. Because remember, we kind of talked about that with Redman. Check out
yeah.
How High episode, kind of like why he didn't continue. So, oh, that's a good question, though.
I will venture to say that it was hard for her. Well, for one, she's a theater girly. And it can be really hard to tone down the theatrics in a more palatable way to be mainstream. Because if you've seen her viral performance of her "I'm Still Here,"
Oh
it's
man.
very, very over the top. And then, you know, she has a lot of iconic characters where I don't think people were able to see her as anything other than Gina, or, you know, her big roles became so infamous with who she is that I think for a lot of people it's hard to kind of cross over in that way.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hear Andre 3000 play the flute. Doesn't mean he's not good at it, but you've already introduced us to you as something else. That's what we like you at. No different than I talk about this all the time when you have comedic actors who want to break over. Steve Carell, hey, you hilarious in The Office. You hilarious in 40-Year-Old Version. We don't want to see you take these dramatic roles and Little Miss Sunshine and all this other stuff. But guess what? He's really good at that too. If you give him a chance to spread his wings and accept the fact that, you know what? And think about it as humans. We don't want to just be one thing. But I think people around you put you in a box where they say, nah, you are an actor. You're going to be, because, you know, 2 years after this, House Party comes out. And after that, it's just, I think it's just harder to break into music than it is movies. I think music
Mm.
is very specific. The way the music industry is ran, all of that, like the way they put the money into it, what they expect back from you to maintain a career. When you think about real relevant artists, there's people who have a look good 3, 4 scorching hot run, but it's hard to stay long term and have real long longevity in that field. And I think people are just like, you know what? You can sing Little Shop of Horrors, House Party, Martin. We know you can act. She had a small role in Boomerang. We just gonna put you in this actor role, and that's where you're gonna get those checks from. And I just think that's part of it. I think she probably wanted to, but the people around her wouldn't let her, for lack of
Mm.
better terms. Because hey, you're in this box, not that box.
16 years in the game, not Minute Maid.
It's crazy. I be thinking that straight up. I be thinking that like these actors that are dual talented or these musicians that are dual talented, I be wondering how jelly they be about like certain people in this era where they be like, bruh, now a Donald Glover can do this. You know what I'm saying? Now, like, I be wondering because I be like, bro, I was already doing this. You know what I mean? Like Lauryn Hill. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, I was singing, rapping, and I was acting. You know, literally, that's Drake. So it's like I be wondering how they be. I mean, Lauren's different because she made a conscious decision to go the way she went. So it's not she's not jelly, but I'm just using her as an example for a person that's multifaceted and talented. But I be wondering sometimes with the OGs like how they be feeling because like, bro, oh now it's cool. Y'all can do that and they accept you, embrace you that way. You could be a comedian and you could be a serious actor, you know. But yeah, I don't know. My guess will probably be like she couldn't sell it in the meetings. That would be my guess. Like something maybe in the meeting she couldn't sell about the persona of the music side of it. And that's probably what it is. Like I think the delivery, like when you see her in these movies and these little performances that she do on Martin and here and Little Shop of Horrors and the viral moment that Mia's talking about. I just think it was probably something behind the scenes where she couldn't sell it in the meetings and they just like, yeah.
You gotta. I think it's easier to be a singer and transition to acting than be an actor and transition to singing. For sure. Like I think you can look at Whitney. Like you look at Whitney Houston.
Okay.
And she's easily like she had a speaking of 5 Heartbeats, they wanted to write the baby doll part for Whitney Houston.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like to expand that role for her. And Robert Townsend was even telling her like you can win an Oscar and a Grammy for this movie and all that stuff, trying to really sell it. But to have a singer or to have an actor and then say, "Oh, well, I sing too," it's like, all right, nigga, shut up. You know what I mean? So I think that's part of it.
That's right. That's fair. All right. Well, let's get into the movie, man. That was a little bit of overall discussion here. All right. Mia.
Yes.
Where do you want to go? Again, we're not going scene for scene. But wherever you want to go, relationship wise, dynamic wise, plot wise, where do you want to go first conversationally?
Okay. So because this movie is so like multi-message driven, I kind of had it set up like each like piece of
Each
like
message.
right what he was trying to like get across.
Okay.
So I guess what I would want to start with is the Dap versus Julian and the Gamma Phi Gamma versus the fellas. And just like this like Dap had this really strong aversion to Greek organizations, not just the Gammas, but when Rachel told him that she wanted to pledge Delta, he was like completely against it. He didn't like that his little cousin was pledging. He said that it changes people, when you pledge, and he's seen it happen a million times. And then we look at Julian, and he is an asshole. Like, he's an asshole, but he has his own, you know, lane. He's there to get his education. He feels very strongly about his organization. And also, I've heard that Spike Lee may have been online for a fraternity and never crossed. And so he has his own feelings about Greek organizations that may not be all positive, and which is why he decided to portray the Gammas in this way. And I just kind of wanted to get into like what that how that comes across on screen to everybody else, because I know for me, when I was like when I first saw it, before I knew much of anything about anything, I've always been very familiar with Greek organizations because my great aunt, one of my favorite people in the entire world, is a very, very long standing, very active member of the Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority. And she's been, she's a card carrying member. She does the things. Even now she's in her, I'm not gonna tell her business, but she's my aunt, my dad's aunt, if that tells you anything. And my dad's in his 60s. But seeing it made me kind of look at Greek organizations in a certain way that wasn't positive until I knew more. And I don't know if that's what Spike was trying to do.
Yeah, you don't get the heart of the Greek organizations in this movie, bro. Like you don't get the, like, if he was trying to show us this like pride and this kind of rich history in Greek organizations,
he wasn't trying to do that.
Oh, I definitely know, because I'm like,
He
you don't get the heart in that. Like, I'm not saying he's like flat out dissing either, but you definitely don't get the, like, you know what I mean? And I feel like there was an opportunity there with Julian. I do think there was an opportunity of like this moment, the interaction between Julian and Dap, where he was just like, bro, like the whole Africa thing, where he was like, bro, I'm from Detroit. Like, I feel like there could have been something there, and I know we're in it, but I do want to speak about the Dap character.
Dap is exasperating. Like he's a lot. Like he's definitely a lot. So here's my thoughts, and this is me giving a Greek perspective. I don't think his intent was to paint Greek life in a positive manner, but I also don't think, like you said, what he painted was untrue. I think that's a real thing. What I really would have loved to see, and I think could have been a very interesting scene, is they mentioned that was online when he dropped.
Bruh.
I would have loved to get more insight. And, just knowing that life and knowing that's like a scarlet letter. Like, you drop line, you damn near, like, when I was coming up, like, you gotta transfer. You can't even go to school here no more. Like, because people gonna find out and they look at you sideways. So that's a real big thing. I don't think Dap did it for that reason. I think Dap was one of those people that went through it or started it. And it was like, oh, this ain't for me, or what I thought it was gonna be. But I'd be more curious to find out what made, because there's nothing that I see in the character Dap that makes me think that he would even want to join a Greek organization. So I would love to know what happened and what changed throughout that process, because, like I said, you're exasperating, bro. Like, you just too much. Even his
he
boys
woke
tell
up.
me, like, bro, like,
I guess he woke up.
well, I mean, that could be a thing. And Rachel was even telling him, right? Like, what about all the good stuff that they do for the community? And that's a real thing. I think when people look at undergrad Greek, one of the things that's still prevalent is you're doing this for friends, you're doing this for popularity. And that's not always the case. However, I've seen plenty of people do that. I was very big on pulling cards. Like, so you couldn't, if I knew you before you were Greek, I don't want you portraying yourself a certain way. I don't want to say like I'm in control of anything, but I would like to make sure people remember, or like, sometimes people become a new person. It's like, yo, that person went like that. Like, that's them letters. I always respected the people that were still the same. Like, you know what I mean? Like Rachel. Rachel's Greek. Rachel's a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Rachel's been Rachel. Like, nothing changed because she became an AKA. She didn't become all.
Well, what's wrong with changing?
There's nothing wrong with changing. I think there's something wrong with turning it into half pint. Like, bro, we made fun of you. You the butt of the joke. Now you feel like you the man. Now you feel like you somebody. And I'm not saying you didn't earn it or you don't deserve that, whatever, but do it for the right reasons. Try to make an impact and a change in a positive light. Don't use it as I was lame, now I'm cool.
Right.
Because these letters ain't gonna make you cool, bro. Like you gotta have this in you, not on you.
Hey,
It's one of
Alvin.
those
Hey,
things.
Alvin getting shorties now.
Yeah, Alvin getting shorties now, so the same type of thing. Like, bro, like
But
that's not you.
his shorty was forced. Like you couldn't even.
Yeah, that
You
was
know,
pretty whack. I actually
like
had my bad. Go ahead. Ash.
I was like, you couldn't even get it on your own. Like that's crazy. But I think it was nice to hear your perspective because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a part of this Greek life, but and I didn't live on campus or anything like that. So it is refreshing to hear your perspectives, Big Rich. And yeah, Dap was a lot. Like he was coming on really, really strong. Shout out to Lawrence Fishburne because we don't talk about him enough. Like I think he's dope. He
Incredible.
really like locks into the character. And
Hmm.
I was kind of looking, Lawrence was kind of.
Well,
It was like,
they Lawrence he actually had they put a cap where his gap is for this movie. Like you
I
know,
thought
Yeah,
I
they
saw the
did.
gap.
yeah, no,
Didn't the
he
gap show?
no, mm-mm,
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Because when I saw his teeth, it did look weird to me. Like when I saw those scenes, I'm like, I know he had a gap, but it almost looked at like they were trying to close it, but I feel like it wasn't
If
closed.
It's very, very minor. It's very slight.
Yeah,
but like if you seen something like it probably was a continuity issue.
it did look weird. So I was like, I know he had a gap, but this don't look like his natural gap. But yeah, like shout out to what was his lady's name? Y'all said
Rachel.
that. Oh, her name was Rachel. Yeah, like you said, like he's just anti everything. He's supposed to be like super pro black, but then you're still kind of downing obviously other black students who express their blackness in a different way. And again, it could be a lot from his experience. Like you said, he was on the line, and if we would have got to uncover a little bit more of that, maybe he has his reasons. But he was coming on strong. Definitely judgy, and liked him though. But and that's probably just because it's Lawrence. But
Yeah,
Yeah, and
I got a hot take too. I don't think he really felt what he was portraying, and
what?
that's I don't think so. I think I would have thought that if they didn't give the reveal that hey he was online, but he didn't make it. He didn't cross over because I'm not saying you can't be awoke and aware where you realize this is bigger than Greek life. This is bigger than Nino Brown. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he could have stepped out or they could have let him go because he was too rebellious. Those are all possibilities. But that to me is that was like a foundational build where there was all of these different moments where like when you see the townies where he's like in front of them, like, hey brother, you got a reasonable issue, but we ain't your problem. Like, and it's like his crew was with him, like, bro, like let's get to it. Like if we standing up on what we standing on, we ain't mind our business. Let's fight. And he's just kind of like whatever about it. And then it's like his girl's like, oh, you only with me because I'm probably one of the darkest women on campus. Now I'm not saying, and he, he kind of like, obviously backtrack like, nah, that ain't the case. But there was all these different moments that kept coming up that felt like for me, and again, I don't know if Spike Lee was trying to throw us off the scent, but to me, there was a lot of moments that felt like, oh, this is really who Dap is. Like you picked the blackest nickname there is in the '80s, bro. Like Dap, come on, dog.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like there were so many moments to me where I was like, this ain't really how you feel. You either butt hurt because you couldn't cross over for Greek life, or you just needed a certain kind of attention. You're like, man, we're gonna do our own thing. Because when we were recruits, there was a moment where our big brothers, while we were recruits, they was acting a certain way, and we had got to the point. It's like, bro, if they cut one of us, they cut all of us, and we're gonna start our own organization. And we was dead ass. And there was a time when they cut me, and when they cut me, I walked out the chapel, and then I looked. I got a few steps down, and all my bros walked out. I was like, fuck this shit, and they start walking. It's like, bro, they let H3 go, we all leaving. And then they're like, hey, come back, because we was like, bro, we'll start our own organization. We don't need you. You know what I'm saying? So it was just that's how it felt for me with Dap.
Well, I want to say multiple things can be true. I think that he probably did look at Greek organizations a certain way because of his own experience with it, and maybe the experience, because if he was online, it is possible that he had a lot of friends who crossed when he didn't. And he may have seen them change, switch up on him, anything like that, and that could have led to some hurt. But when he's talking to, the locals, I don't think he would ever want to fight, because that's not what he stands on. It's more so he wants them to see themselves as more than what they see. And I do believe that Dap really believed in everything that he said he stood for, because you see him late night meetings on campus just giving people information and about what apartheid is and what they can do about it. I feel like he had a lot of principles that he did stand on, but I think he was young.
What grade? What grade was he on? What grade were we supposed to believe he's in?
We believe he's a senior.
Now,
He's a
junior, senior. Yeah, life hasn't beat him up yet.
Because he was talking mad crazy in the office, bro.
Like, I believe that he was an upperclassman for sure.
Yeah, definitely upper.
He knew some things. He had been on campus. And if you've been in college.
No, I know though. That's why I say it's accurate.
Them college seniors are some pretentious motherfuckers.
No, it's accurate.
Somebody who thinks they know everything about everything, they think they got all the answers. And that is kind of what I got from Dap. Like, I do think he was portrayed more favorably than Julian, but I do believe he was also, they were two sides of the same coin. He was just as insufferable about his cause. His cause just seemed more noble. And I think that is very telling about what Spike Lee may think of himself as well. He may believe that he can be judgmental and insufferable. And I think he wanted to reflect himself in a lot of ways.
That's a bar right there.
I think that's the overall conversation, like Greeks versus non-Greeks. I think there is I've seen it. I've seen people cross and then just have this, I'm better than you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, anytime you see somebody that cross over and they stop hanging with the people they were hanging with before, I think that's a big telltale sign. That kind of says a lot about who they were. And that conversation and that contrast between the two. And I think, like I said, it goes back to Dap not crossing over for whatever his reasons were, whatever they were. It just says a lot about how you look upon it. And like I said earlier, I think people look at it as, oh, you wanted to do this so you can gain some clout or some like notoriety around campus, when you really ain't like that. Where you can really do both, right? Like, I was the president of our Black Student Union when I crossed. You know what I mean? So it was kind of a two sides of the thing. And that's why it made it easier for me as well, because I'm like, man, I'm not doing this for anybody to know me. Everybody knows me already. Not saying it like that, but, I'm not a stranger on campus. It's just more so, all right, then this is cool. Now still able to talk to the same people, shake the same hands. Like, it wasn't, a lot of people don't even know I'm Greek now, because I never lead with that. Like, that's not my personality. And that's cool if it is. I think a lot of people, I want to say that, but I still think there is something to have your individuality. And I think in that age, in college, when you're still trying to figure yourself out, it's hard to navigate both of those. And like I said earlier, Dap still has the naivete of life, to where he can still have that passion to go out there and fight. That his boys is already on it, like, bro, this shit's exhausting. Like, you know what I mean? All the time. Like, I was out there marching. I was out there in school newspaper. I remember when Gen 6 happened when I was in college, and we out there wearing all black, doing the protests and all the whole nine. I get it. But damn.
That's a sensitive spot for us. When you hit that 19 to 20, I mean 18 to 20 ramps, let's say 17, just in case if you graduated, slightly earlier, you were younger. That 17 to 20 college realm outside of high school, it's very sensitive, because you're like close to adulthood, and your passion and your fire for things are so different. and that's how you could recruit like Dap. You know what I mean? It's like people don't really know anything because it's like it's a whole new refresh. You're not dealing with the high school politics. You got 1 foot in adulthood, but 1 foot in childhood, so to speak, in the sense that you just got out of adolescence, out of high school, but you're in trying to be grown, but you're in this bubble called college, and that's why I say it's very accurate in that sense.
Yeah.
What was you gonna say?
I was going to say, and not to mention, like, it's not like there are Greeks who paint that picture too, that give you a reason to maybe not like them. Like, there's very this like exclusiveness, this, there are Greeks. If you're non-Greek, there's a term that they call you a GDI. You know what I mean? Like that, they're lessening your humanity, and not your humanity. That's a little bit too far, but they're lessening who you are and your status because you're not one of us. You're not even if you're not a part of my organization, you're not Greek. You haven't done the things that I've done to get here, and it can feel like you walking in with your nose up, and that's going to turn people off.
I don't respect you like that.
Who are you? Yeah, no different than like, all right, perfect example. So the Greeks might look at the average student body like that, but the football team look at the Greeks like y'all ain't shit. Like we the athletes, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
we the hoopers, we the athletes. So that Greek life don't impress us at all. Like, you know what I mean? We really the top dogs. And we really the runs who there's always chains.
Yeah.
And I think if you're on one of those other sides where you look like somebody's like shitting on you or looking down on you, you have a natural just like, man, fuck them. Like, you know what I mean? There's been plenty of Greek life, right? One of the biggest things is don't break my line. Like, you know what I mean? You in the party, you stroll and don't walk through my line. It's a real big thing. A lot of people, if you don't know, you blindly do it, whatever the case is. Bruh, I know football players that would do that shit intentionally, and I dare y'all niggas to do something. Like,
facts.
Now, if you're respectful, it's all respect. But I've seen fights happen between organizations and all this other stuff because they don't necessarily respect what they doing. Like, you know what I mean? Because you ain't who you think you are. You ain't all that. Let me put you in your place. So it's a lot of give and take. Like, it's not, I want to give Dap a little bit of grace because I can understand how if you weren't a part of it, you start thinking like, why do y'all think y'all so important that y'all could just treat us like this? Because Dap's crew was cool. Like, they cool people. I would hang with them.
That was cool dudes.
Yeah, it was cool dudes. But also you can have a group that be like, oh, y'all ain't us. Or, you know, I've been in spots where I'm cool with people, the party going on, everybody get out. If you ain't Greek, if you ain't da-da-da-da or a woman, you got to go. And it's like, damn, like, what y'all, I'm cooler than all y'all.
Facts.
So, yeah, it's one of those things.
Nah, no doubt. Ash, do you got anything else you want to say about Dap? Or if not, what stood out to you where you want to go within this film?
I don't have anything else about Dap.
Okay.
We probably can talk about Julian and Jane, the whole half pint situation.
Okay, go ahead. What you got?
Wow.
Well, I first want to say licking the scalp is crazy work.
Hey, that's how I need. If you're trying to get with me, I need you on that.
Kyron.
Are you licking my scalp?
Kyron, you are bald.
He has this man.
That is a different situation.
This Carlos has split the seat.
And somebody's head. I'm not licking your part. You got blue magic in there. You got gel in there. That is different. Now, Baldy, you know, we might be able to do a little something with Baldy.
Listen.
But show me it's real. You know what I'm saying? Split that part, baby. Show me it's real.
That is.
We
not about to lick nobody.
Absolutely not. And I was watching that part of my husband. I'm looking at like, ew, boy. Looking at me, I'm like, don't even think about it.
Ash said we can wrestle, but we can't.
We can wrestle, we can tussle, but I'm not licking your freaking head. But yeah, I just had that in there because that was just insane. I've never seen something like that.
I want to make another point, but you go ahead, Ash. Circle back to just throw me.
I got you. Throw you the I got you.
You done.
Just the whole situation with Julian telling Jane to sleep with Half Pint, right? And then she actually does it only for him to flip the script and be shocked that she actually went through with it. It was this power trip, like with Julian to me, like, because obviously she was the leader of her. What were they? The
The
Gamma
gamma
Rays.
rays, and that's another point that I want to make about auxiliary organizations, but we can come back to that. I'm gonna get back to that after we
Like, she the leader, but he obviously status is very important to him, power and the way that he looks, and obviously he's respected on campus. But the fact he flipped on her after she slept with that bald-headed, short Spike Lee, it was just gaslighting at its finest. I was just so baffled. I was like, no, you actually did that? Like, are you kidding me? I was just like, what shit here? Like, it was insane to me. So like when she's she was so green, obviously. She was just so invested. But for her, she's supposed to go in there and just pretend like, hey, I'm not sleeping with you. Let's just say you did. And then it's all like I think the way he manipulated the situation, like she really believed that she had to sleep with that dude.
Here's the thing, right? I'm gonna play devil's advocate a little bit. He was looking for a reason because he had already told the bros that he was over Jane anyway.
True.
He used this as an excuse, but he had a point. You care so much about this organization that you're willing to sleep with Half Pint.
Oh, she did that shit for him.
And even so, my girl,
I mean, I wouldn't have did. I'm just saying, like,
stand up, please.
yeah, you trying to pick me out? Like, absolutely not. Like, we have taken this whole thing to another level. Like, I agree. I don't think she should have done it. Like, boy, please. But she was so gone.
I'll be too weak in the knees. Stand up.
Yeah, she was.
Stand up.
Stand up.
That was crazy to me. That's all I had on that.
Yeah, it's gaslighting 101, 100%. I'm not sure what class she was in, if she was maybe a sophomore, let's say. But you see that a lot. I know Mia mentioned the auxiliary groups. I know I've heard stories, haven't been a part of any. I've just heard stories from different organizations as a whole, and they don't, not even necessarily auxiliary groups, just people, just women who were around to do things, but not in this manner. Like, hey, I want you to sleep with my mans. That's crazy. And what you did it was a test. Like, that's just nasty. That's just sick. Like, there's no excuse for it. But it happens. There's some slime ball dudes that do a lot of, especially in college, whether you Greek, non-Greek, whatever. There's just a lot of slimy dudes in college, and I think that is also one of the most vulnerable points for women in relationships, and like the idea of a safe place really being a thing, because you're introduced to so much and your world can change just like that. And I don't think a lot of men, just from my own two eyes of witnessing, I think it's a reason why people go after the freshmen or freshmen on campus. There's a lot of upperclassmen like, yeah, who knew? Who knew? Because they look at it as a prize or some kind of like quest to conquer versus being a human being or a real person. And they ain't just on some like, yeah, I think you cool and I'm trying to get with you. They'll play the nice, charming, grown man thing. Like, imagine, I've seen the girls that with their high school sweetheart still somewhere else, but they go to college and it's like, oh, these are grown men now and they charming and they're picking me up and they're doing this, that, and the third, just to find out like, oh, you was just a number, just another notch under the belt, and it is what it is. And that can be heartbreaking. That can crush, somebody's soul. So I don't got nothing else to say past that. That was nasty, but it's true.
Yeah, another toothpick. Yeah, he was already going to break up on her. He figured out how to finesse. He gaslit in 98. I mean in 88. Like he figured he the first person to gaslight back in 1988. Shout out to Spike Lee. So yeah, it was a crazy dynamic. I had a Mandela effect because for some reason in my mind when I watched this film, I thought they faked it, and that was enough to get by. So I I didn't remember. So when I watched it, I was like, wait, oh, they did go through it. I couldn't, you know, so because I thought I had a different idea in how I remember the movie of Half Pint. So I guess that's what kind of threw me a little bit. But yeah, I mean, he's upperclassman. Unfortunately, it happens. I wish he didn't go through with it. That's pretty trash. But you know, I don't even know. Never mind, because I was like, if this is like reversed, and a guy, never mind.
What if I gotta see what your homegirl?
It's so different. It's totally different. But anyway, let's talk a little bit about the wannabes and jigaboos, just briefly. We don't have to spend a lot of time because I don't want this episode to be too long, especially for this movie. But what do y'all want to say about this content as far as all the scenes we get, the musical element to the movie, and just kind of the underlining message? Ash, what did you get from it?
Don't put me first, man.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead, man. Like, hey, listen.
Nah, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right.
Mia, I gotta throw Mia oop. Yeah.
All right, go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah.
You were gone. She said.
But this is perfect because it's segue. Because what I was going to talk about was really about Jane and the gamma rays, the wannabes, if you will. So I don't know much about auxiliary. Like when I was at FAMU, and even when I was at UC, like I know outside of my main friend group, 95% of my friends are Greek. They're either AKAs or Deltas. I have Sigma Gamma Rho friend. Like I have like most of my friends are AKAs though, but they I haven't I like when I saw this and then when I went to college, I was surprised to see that this wasn't as much of a thing as it appeared to be here. Because I know that there were auxiliary groups, but I don't think they were all that active, or they weren't active, or if they were under the radar somewhere because they were not out there like that. But I don't know if Spike was purposely not trying to uh portray like sororities in a certain way, or if it was if that's why he didn't want to use, or if it was just something he had to do to make it, connect a little bit closer to the
I
Gamma.
think, just real quick, in the 80s, auxiliary groups were much more prominent. Like when I was at Toledo, Kappa Diamonds were still around, but that's it. They were much, much, much more prominent around this time. And another thing, just a small tidbit, pledging was still legal when this film was. But that's why you see them on the yard, like out in public, at these events, chained up, doing whatever, and it's not normal. It didn't. NPHC at the time, all the 8 members, because it was before the IOTAs joined, but the 8 members, they didn't approve non-hazing until 1990. So all of this was still normal. So that kind of goes into why I think they put an emphasis on this.
Okay, that makes
sense. Because it was really prominent for you to have, if I'm an alpha, there's going to be some alpha angels. If you're a kappa, there's going to be some kappa diamonds, so on and so forth.
Okay, that makes sense. I just had to get that out. But as far as like I hate even calling these women jigaboos. That's crazy to me. That is what they're actually called. That's what they're
insane.
Because that's insane. The musical number is by far one of my favorite scenes, and I was watching it
tracks.
Like you know me.
Yeah.
But I love it so much. But I'm also like, I love the arts, I'm a theater girly. I love dance, and like it was especially to see Black women or Black artists who are classically trained dancers just doing their thing, Alvin Ailey style. It just is something that I live for. But on the point of Jane versus Rachel, it did seem like 2 extremes, which again is a Spike Lee thing. There was no middle. I like to think I'm somewhere in the middle. However, it was,
You mean like in perspective?
yeah, like I'm not complete, like I wouldn't call myself, like I wouldn't say I'm on the side,
Don't even try it. Don't
but
even.
I'm not, you know, this is all me, baby. Ain't no,
No, I'm with you. I got some points to make later, but I thought you were gonna
I'm a
go.
little too pro-black for certain things. Like
Yeah, no. I thought she was going somewhere else. I'm like, come on, you know, you know.
I'm here with it, but at the same time, there was a. It's hard for me to make a real judgment on this because I feel like the wannabes were such an exaggeration of what certain women are like. I feel like, and I hate to say this because these are my people, he may have been trying to base these people loosely on AKAs because they're very there's an element. There was like one dark skinned gamma ray.
Mm.
Even the Gamites were all light skinned from what I could tell. It was like a colorism.
Even in the when they did the doing in the butt concert, like all of them were light skinned. Like that was like a subtle. They didn't put a hyper focus in it, but all of the winners were light skinned women. Just I feel like to kind of tie into like the culture or maybe the timing or maybe just the message Spike was trying to get across.
That room, I know that room stank.
Oh man,
Hey, it smelled like
Badissi.
Yeah, but to the conversation at hand, I think the conversation. I don't think it's about a particular group more than just what these stereotypes and images are, right? Just kind of, and that's probably part of what Dap's problem is with Greeks because it's like, hey, if you want to be an AKA, you got to be light skinned and prissy. Like that's not necessarily true. You know what I mean? And but people from the outside put you in these boxes. So it's always even for me, right? It's funny because people, first of all, they're like, "You Greek," and when they do, they like playing a guessing game. I kind of find humor in that when people like, "Let me guess what you are." Like what kind of Greek? Like because they already have pre notions in their head of what certain groups are, and I think that's what Spike was really trying to say as well.
That's a good point. Yeah. All right. So let's kind of do a quick run through here before we get into like our later categories. Any other dynamic that y'all want to speak to, any relationship or any plot y'all want to speak to, just briefly, before we get into our later category. I just want to make sure we do our due diligence, but I don't want to spend too long on those things.
I guess just one other thing. Oh, I'm sorry. You go ahead. You go.
No, I'm sorry. Just real quick, I do like the conversation between Rachel and her girls. Like, you haven't been with anybody else since freshman year. I am a big believer that college is for exploring. Like,
Yes.
by all means, if you find the love of your life and all that, that's cool. But you see that a lot where, they even said he a man, he out here doing what he does. I think women, well, I don't want to make a general statement. I think that's more common. Like, I think it's more common for men to do what they do and the woman to play that role of I'm just gonna be here and I'm gonna wait and whatever. Where I think like, nah, man, you go out and do your thing too. If women did their thing like that, you'll find out how crushed men would be and how sensitive men are. Like, oh, my
Crying
heart,
in
you
the
know what I mean? All
corner.
that kind of stuff. Crying in the corner. But you kind of think you got it like that. I mean, even like the best man and stuff like that. You think the ego of a man sometimes when you think like, oh, she ain't going nowhere. Like, bruh, I don't know, man. You sure? You sure she ain't stepped out?
But you know what's more dangerous than that?
What's that?
When a man goes through that hurt and then has the realization and then finds out a way to be okay with that. And when he finds out a way to be okay with that, ain't no breaking that shit. Ain't nothing breaking that
It
wall.
don't matter though, because you already broke.
It's over with. It's over with.
You need some therapy.
You've already been broke.
It's over with.
I just thought that was an interesting conversation, for women to have, especially that year. Like, hey, man, you've been here with the same person. Like, you do. That's a real thing. Like, you want to experience life. How do you know what you like if you haven't really dabbled in a little bit of everything? Also, I enjoyed the conversation at the beginning when President McPherson and Cedar Cloud were talking about what's the relevancy of HBCUs. Do we still need them? Like, you know what I mean? And they talked about the lack of support. And we still see that to this day. HBCUs are grossly underfunded. You look at, and this isn't my point. I know Van Lathan has said this before on his podcast. LSU, right? The Louisiana State University, their football locker room costs more than the endowment at Southern. Like they spent more money on their locker room than the endowment at Southern University, which is in the same city. Just their locker room for one sport.
What's
You know
endowment?
what I
What's an
mean?
endowment?
The money that you have pretty much for your school. Like just
Oh, for like the okay,
yeah,
so the funds for the school.
yeah. So like, if you have prominent alumni and stuff like that, they'll support and give money and stuff like that. You got to think like schools like Harvard and things, their endowments are crazy. Like they're never running out of money. Where you have these other schools who are underfunded and they're trying to figure out how to keep the lights on and get working AC in their dorms and all these other things. So it's just kind of crazy how that works and just the responsibility of supporting. Because I always think about, hey, do we need HBCUs? And they're talking about, Notre Dame and Brigham Young. Well, the Mormons support Brigham Young. The Catholics support Notre Dame. Who's supporting us? It reminds me of the Coach Prime conversation, right? When Coach Prime left Jackson State to go to Colorado, it's like, all right, the disdain, I don't want to say disdain, but the disappointment came from, bruh, your impact is greater at Jackson State than it will at Colorado. Like, you can make more of a change here than you will there. I understand the economics of things, and it's easier for you to play the game and kind of climb that ladder. But if you want to put that to the side and say your legacy is already cemented, stay here and really change things from the inside out. That's why they want high school athletes, right? If you're a top athlete, go to HBCU. The issue is, and that started happening, right? I think Bo, who was like he was a number 5 basketball player in the country. He chose Howard, and he got there, and it was just like, y'all, I don't have the funding or the support to really
Exposure.
go to my next level. Like I think when you're good, talent's gonna find you. But if I don't have the proper equipment, if I don't have the proper training staff to keep me healthy and things of that nature, and my life is gonna be a professional athlete, then maybe I need to look at somewhere that's better developed or better suited for what I want to do. It's like wanting to be an actor or be an artist or a dancer, and you have an opportunity to go to Juilliard. Well, yeah, that's my goal. That's my dream. I want to go here and I want to go to creative arts school. I don't want to get it out the mud. So you see both sides of it, but it's also like, damn, the system's so rigged that we can't even get everything that we need. So I just thought that's very interesting. Even in 1988, compared to
88
where
for
we are
sure.
now, it's still a thing. Like it's still a thing. So
That's
those
a
are only
fact.
last 2 things I really wanted to touch on.
Okay. Mia, last quick
So
points.
very, very similar to what Rich was saying about the the faculty. I can't remember their names offhand right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
McPherson in the cloud.
yeah. So the conversation that they were having with Dap, I think was very interesting to see the whole conversation of divestment because of apartheid and how because we've seen things like this happen in recent history where we'll have a keynote speaker at the commencement ceremony be a Republican and they're at a HBCU and the student body is protesting against it. Like, no, we don't believe in this. So we don't want this at our university. But that there's a kickback to the university for this person to be there. And so, the faculty or the powers that be are like, well, we need this money. And it's like a struggle between the principle of what the university and the student body stands for versus we need to keep this university open. So do we compromise our principles to be able to do that? And that is a point that I don't think we ever will have a real clear answer on. And we didn't necessarily get a clear answer here either, because it's one of those very sensitive, tricky situations where, is there a right or wrong here?
It's tough,
Great
man.
point.
And
Yeah.
I don't
You know
have
what I
that.
mean?
I don't know.
Yeah, man, like that. I always say this quote from the Equalizer, man. When you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud too. It's kind of like, lesser of 2 evils. Like, which one am I going to do? Am I going to take this money to keep these doors open, even if though it's from somebody we don't like? It's
Yeah.
tough. Like, I think the whole point is we shouldn't even have to be in that position to begin with. But The game is rigged, and that's
But
where
here we
it
are.
is. Here we are. Exactly. Exactly.
Ash, any last points you got?
Don't.
Okay, I got a few before we get out of here. I did like the dynamic. I found it interesting with Dap and Half Pint. Find out that's his cousin, and just how he stood up for him, and also just like we get a bit of history of him being dropped from pledging, but him helping Half Pint in everyday things, washing clothes. We get humanity to show like, okay, he is a regular person. He's not just in this automation of pro-blackism. So I did like that aspect of it. The Dap dorm room scene from the suspension that I think there was great comedic relief leading to the KFC scene, and then which we see they dealt with the townies.
It's one of my favorite quotes in that scene.
And what the
When he
KFC
told Dap, right before, like Dap and Life, there are times to be quiet, man, to shut the fuck up. This is one of them. Dap needed friends like that to tell him, like, bro, this ain't it.
Yeah.
So
And shout out to them for feeling bold enough, because Dap could come off as like he's kind of the leader of the friend group, because every friend group has somebody that's kind of the most outspoken or more outgoing. There's always a friend group like that, and so shout out to them for feeling bold enough to say that. But I just want to say that doing it in the butt party, it was lit. that's a lit party in '88. That was funky, but they was getting down. And yeah, that's probably about it. I mean, we already talked about the Julian gaslighting Jane. It's crazy, but
you mentioned the KFC. All I gotta say is this: every time I watch this movie, do y'all know how pissed off I get that they left that chicken on that table?
Bro.
Like, I get get it to go box, bro.
I ain't leaving nothing. I might hold it in my hand walking out, bro.
And my man's paid for it all, bro. Hell nah. Like,
it's crazy work.
No, we're not doing that.
That's crazy work. All right, before we get out of here, we gotta get into our category. So, character you relate to or identify with the most. Mia B.
I said Rachel. Because while I am extremely pro-Black, I do see a great amount of value in Greek organizations. I'm not in one, but I see the value. I like to keep a very open mind, because there's a lot of nuance in being an individual, being very much, because a lot of people I know are pro-Black and in Greek organizations. So
you give the vibe like you a part of it. Like I wouldn't have known. Like, you definitely get the vibe of that. Like, what about you? What about you, Rich?
I'm gonna say Grady. Grady is Bill Nunn's character. He's on the football team. I'm saying him mainly because, as I mentioned earlier, athletes, you got some clout. You got, people know you around campus. But he was also really humble, like real cool, approachable. Let his friends be his friends, but also knew when it was time to step up. And like I just said, the quote, like, bro, Dap, now is one of them times to be quiet, bro. Like, maybe not everybody can talk to the leader, air quotes, of the friend group like that, but I can, because I do have that much, like, kind of cachet, whatever you want to call it. I care about the causes, bro. I'm gonna kick it. I'm gonna be at the party, but I'm also gonna show up at 9 a.m. For the divestment and make sure we protest. And I'm gonna hold the banner. And I feel like he could bounce around every single group. He could have been Greek and been on the football team and also cared about the Black causes and everything else. So I relate to him a lot in that sense, because, like I said, while I am Greek, that wasn't my personality. You know what I mean? It wasn't just like I'm Kyron the Alpha. Like, I happen to be an Alpha, but I'm all these other things as well. So I can appreciate him and just kind of how and he just seemed like a college guy that was just having fun. Like, I'm just here for this moment. Like, I want to go to the party and see your girl and bring her back to the room and all that other stuff.
A lot of jazz.
You know what I mean? And it don't work out. I'm still going to play it. Not even that. Like, it didn't work out. We see her leave and my boy's clowning me. You have those embarrassing moments. I always joke about being super cool, but I got embarrassing moments too. When your boys see, like, nigga. Like, all right, man, all right. Y'all got me. You got me.
Hey, so yeah. we need another Week in the Book episode to talk about that. We need to hear.
ain't enough stories for that, man. I only got a couple, man.
Nah, you can count on two hands. Nah.
Nah, I'm on top of it, man. Yeah, so. But yeah, I say Grady. That's my most relatable character.
All right, Ash. What character you relate to, identify with the most?
I'm gonna go with Rachel as well. Just like her dynamic with Dap. Like I felt like she supported him, but she still like questioned him, and she didn't just accept everything because he's passionate about it or because he thinks his way is the right way. So that's what I pulled. I think that's me. Like I'm gonna ask questions. I'm gonna get a different perspective of it and kind of go that way. So.
For me, unfortunately, Dap.
Dap. I know. You Dap. Yeah. You definitely
That
Dap.
tracks.
Back in the
1000% Dap.
not now, but back in the day, I definitely had in college. I had this holier than thou complex for sure about my thinking, my upbringing, my maturity, my take on society. I lived, but I lived and found out how wrong I was. To the point I cringe legit at the thought when I talk to some of my bros that we cross over together and they bring up like, hey, remember you X3, remember you say this and that? I cringe at, I'm so far from that. But in that era, in that time, I was definitely Dap. Like, forget all that. Y'all need to be on this. So unfortunately, I gotta say Dap for the time and the era of being in college. Get to stepping. Character you could do without. Rich.
Get half pint up out of here, bro. No, I know way too many half pints, bro. Get half pint up out of here. Like, you can ride out.
I ain't mad at it. Mia.
I might be biased, but I don't have anybody.
Oh, that's fine. I'm not mad at it. You know, story plot wise, everybody fits. Ash.
I don't have anyone either.
I'm rolling with my dog. Half pint. Had the same thing.
Man. The lame that think he cool now, man. As Will Mills say, pack you up.
Yeah, definitely pack you up. And it was just, we just didn't need him. I think we could have got back more backstory and we could cut all those.
We needed half pint because half pint half pint's the reason why people don't like Greeks.
Well, I think for your perspective, being Greek, it fits perfectly. But
okay.
I mean, for me, it was more of the like. I'm not saying it's not consistent. I just it takes away from the story. We're not invested because the scatter of the storytelling, it affects it. Because I'm like, my Mandela effect. I thought we got more with half pint when we were rooting for him, but when I watched it, I'm like, he's really not in there like that at all. We could just cut that all the way together. But I mean, you know, it's Spike's film, so you know, put him in there. Lines that deserve to be slimed. I'm gonna go in reverse. Ash, you got something?
One, it was from Dap. I just liked the way that he said it. He was talking to Rachel. He's like, "Yeah, you must be sick in the head because I ain't never gonna support something like that." Like you knew he meant it. So I could appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt. Mia B.
You ain't seen no parts of the pussy.
Hey, going crazy.
Tracks, man.
Classic.
Anything else? That's the only one you got?
I got a few.
Okay.
I didn't know if you wanted to.
Oh, okay. Bounce around a little bit. All right, we can bounce around if you got a few. Rich, what you got?
Look, I'm sick of you niggers. Every day the same shit. I'm like, damn, niggers? Like the ER? Damn.
Bruh.
Oh, shit.
All right, I guess since we bounced around, you want to take your last breath? I ain't think so. That's my cousin. Leave him alone. You don't talk about him like that. You understand me? Which that was from Dap talking about half pint. Mia, what you got?
I'm gonna skip that one and come back to it later. Can't say the P word twice in a row. You talk more shit than a little bit. That's Julian talking to Dap.
I got one more, and that's just Samuel Jackson. I don't know, just the delivery was funny to me. Get the fuck out of here before I bust a cap in your young college ass.
And I felt him like that small little script. Like I'm like, bro, he's such a star even in this.
Yeah,
And
that's a real
yeah, and he was obviously in Jungle Fever.
He
I
was in Jungle
got
Fever. He was in Do the Right Thing. He was
Do
in
the Right
Mo Better
Thing.
Blues.
Yeah.
His voice was in Mo Better Blues more
Okay.
than anything. Yeah, so yeah, he was in a few.
Yeah. All right. We want to know: do revolutionaries eat Kentucky Fried Chicken? Yeah. What you got, Mia?
Let's see. Pass the pussy. See.
I mean, you know.
Oh, I have more. Did you
Yeah.
have more?
No, go ahead. Yeah, I got more, but go ahead and run yours.
Your eyes are blue, but you ain't white. Your hair is straight because you pressed it last night. That's the jigaboos. And you look so good. You ought to be on Soul Train. You know that? I'm gonna put you on Dance Fever, baby. That's Grady talking to that girl at the doing the butt party. And Coach Odom, one loves that for which one lives, and one labors for that which one loves.
Okay. I got two. Curly hair popping shit. Ready for the world is popping shit. Which is from what's my man from Different World?
Daryl?
No.
Kadeem Hardison?
Kadeem Hardison. Like that's when they left the KFC spot. Like he doubled down on it. And then also, woo, woo, Daddy Longstroke when they was doing that whole thing.
Ooh, Daddy Longstroke.
Daddy Longstroke. Like, you know what I mean? So, hey man, you know, if you know.
Hey, chill out.
I almost thought about that being my greeting when I was when I had some young men going through the process.
Yeah,
maybe
man.
the alleged process. Never mind. Matter of fact, Alpha Phi Alpha is not hazing organization. Allegedly, if somebody were to do that, all of that. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah, no hazing. We just
but I really did. But I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do all that.
Yeah, we're working through qualifications. We're doing some work. We're working together. All right. You know what I mean? Hey, I got you, brother. All right. Things you would change about the movie or what you feel they didn't get right. Rich.
I don't think I would change anything. I think it's one of those where there's pieces for you if you like it. Like, so the musical stuff, I think that threw people off originally. But if you like musicals, like Mia, like that track said she loved that part of the movie. Like it's one of those things. If you like it, that's cool. But if you don't, you can still skip over it and enjoy it. I wouldn't necessarily change anything. I think the message was there. It's just a Spike Lee original, scattered for lack of better terms, movie. So I'll keep it as is.
Okay.
Except for I would have loved a little bit more Dap backstory on why he feels so strongly about the Greeks, especially when we know. Or it would have been better if they don't give us the information that he was online and dropped.
Yeah, yep.
Don't give it to us if you ain't gonna go all the way there with it. So that's the only thing.
Yep, absolutely. Mia.
I can agree with that. Just wanting to know a little bit more about Dap and his backstory with the Greek organization. I don't know. Again, I'm really biased. I love this movie. I do think there are some pacing issues, but of course, that's just kind of Spike Lee's style. So I would.
For sure.
And like there's one scene where they're at the I don't know, because I don't know what to call it because I'm not Greek, of course. When the Gamites are officially about to cross, like they're going through, like they're having their ceremony. But then they cut back to a scene where they were in the bathroom and like mushing bananas in the toilet. And then cut back. And I guess that was like a weird pacing choice for me. But, I can live with it.
Sure. Ash.
I could say a lot here, but it's a Spike Lee film, so I'll just leave it at that.
Mo, you want to say your line?
What's my line?
There's a lot of things I can say that I'm not going to say.
There's a lot of things I can say right now, but I'm not going to say. A few things. The football team pep talk.
Mm-hmm.
We can get rid of that. We don't need it. That was whack. Shout out to
I think that was more so for the homecoming to make sure you remember that you're part of Homecoming. But I do agree, it doesn't fit with the rest of the film.
And I like that actor because Spike Lee did another film. It wasn't Million Man March, but it was this movie where they were
Get on the bus.
Get on the Bus. Yeah, where they were. I seen the movie a few years back, maybe 5 years ago, and I was like, "Oh, this is powerful." And that actor was one of the OGs.
Ozzie Davis.
Yeah.
Ozzie Davis.
He was the drunken Do the Right Thing. Like he's been in a lot of Spike Lee movies.
Dad in Jungle Fever.
Okay.
Yeah. Married to Ruby D.
All right, man. Shout out, hey man, hey, look at the resume. So I like him, but I just think it just was too off skirt for me. Another thing, the idea that light skinned women only perm and wear weave and dark skinned women always do natural. Even then, I get the point he was making, but I don't like it. I don't like it. There's dark skinned women that's gonna perm their hair, and there's light skinned women that's gonna do natural. I'm not, you know what I mean? It's just like you I get what you were going for. I just didn't like it. I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm not saying he's out of pocket or out of context. I just didn't like it. I would change that about the movie.
That's the rub with Spike Lee, because you're getting his perspective.
Right.
So it's like, this is what I think. And yeah.
Yeah,
very on the nose, very
the jigaboo as a dark skinned woman.
the jigaboo is insane. Like
could say that, yeah.
He could have came up with something else, like that, because it's like this is where it's like it's half-assed. Like this again, this is what second, third film. It's half-assed in the sense that the light skin, whatever you call them, wannabes is the this, and then dark skin is jigaboos. These are not wannabes. Is not a racial slur. You know what I mean?
Jigaboos is like under the.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, that's
it
like
didn't match up. Like
that's what I'm saying. You half-assed like, oh, we just gonna work with this and this. No, it's not. You're not. It's not the same level of this.
But you have to think about his lived experience and what he was in college way in the past. This is what they.
Nah, man.
Colorism has come a long way.
The disses that they did made sense. Where they were like, oh, you got fake hair, you got blue eyes. That ain't true. That stuff works. But when you title both these groups, that does not work. And that's where it's like you're just putting shit out there. And that's why I like Spike. It came out in '88. I get it, but you putting shit out there. Like now, I know he would never do that because he would do more research and figure out how to way to level it. You don't put one group as wannabes and the other group as jigaboos. It's like saying niggers and mixed breeds or whatever. You know, it's like it's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
That shit don't work. I get it in '88, fine, that's cool. But this is me and what I would change, nah. And then lastly, the ending. Maybe it worked back then, but to me, every time I see that, and they try to get us the message, wake up, I just want to yell back, shut up.
See, I love the end of this.
I
love it. It's so classic, man. It's so classic.
It is
that shit is terrible. I don't care. I'm on.
Oh man,
that tracks for you though, Mo. That tracks.
Yeah, it do. And the problem is, Dap isn't the right messenger, and that's why it don't work. And not only is Dap not the right messenger, but your few scenes leading up to it don't track. It comes off like you deleted some stuff that was leading us to, like, we needed a scene with Dap talking to Julian. We don't get that. Last thing we get prior to the wake up is his cousin saying, hey, basically, I lost my virginity. I crossed over. I'm Greek now. And then you wake up in the morning, he's yelling, wake up. And like everybody on the campus is coming out there in the field and saying,
it's symbolic. It is not supposed to be literal. It is supposed to be abstract, which is again to the point that
I didn't like it either.
It's ass.
Artistic expression is not for everybody, but even if you don't like someone's artistic expression, there is a point to it.
I get the point, but it's still ass to me. Because I feel like Spike Lee is more brilliant than this. But again, it's his third movie, so it's fine.
This was his second.
Okay, second movie. So I'm not mad at it, but with it being your second movie, I give you grace because it's your second movie, but it was ass. You're saying this whole wake up, but you were so scattered through the film. The wake up didn't land for me. Like maybe it did for people in the 80s.
Matter of taste.
Maybe people in the 90s. It didn't land.
That's subjective. It's subjective. I get it.
Some people might be like, "Oh, okay, wake up." But even then, if you're in the 80s, how do you go from your cousin tells you about him getting buns that was forced, and then the morning comes, wake up? That shit.
Because none of that was surrealism. You know what I mean? That last part wasn't attached to the rest of the movie.
The wake up was surrealism.
That was like
So then, what does that mean then?
That is the
wake up.
What are we supposed to wake up from?
Lord.
The whole film, like, so all these plots that we're talking about, all these issues, so here's something that I'll just say, and I think hopefully this is kind of clear it up. Roger Ebert, when he was doing his review, like for this film at the time, one of the things that he said that really stood out to me was, more than anything, him as a white guy looking at this movie, he said this felt like a movie with black people talking to black people. It's almost like I wasn't even supposed to know half the stuff they were talking about. He made this specifically for black people. And I think all of these inner conversations that we're having about Greeks versus non-Greeks, the supporting of HBCUs, divesting, apartheid, jigaboos versus wannabes, colorisms, hair textures, all of that is like, bro, what's this all about anyway? Like, let's wake up. What are we really talking about? What are we really trying to figure out?
Exactly.
That's what the film was about. But they didn't land you there. They didn't hold your hand to get there. So that's why I can understand for you why it wouldn't work, because it's just like, all right, then I get it. It's like a little bit too much.
You didn't have to hold my hand. It just wasn't put together well. Like,
no,
in my opinion,
that's what I'm saying.
It's like I don't think it's a fair assessment to say that people that don't digest Spike Lee films in a way that others that we need a handheld, or we need it to be fluffed out, or we need it to be that. I don't think that's the case. I think this is just a matter of preference,
execution,
cohesiveness. Again, doesn't. I mean, well, bro, he just didn't get the message. But I just don't. Just because you don't digest Spike Lee's films the way that he's trying to put the messages out there, doesn't mean that I need a film that's like A, B, C, D. It just means I don't like the way that he presented it. It didn't land for me.
Yeah, and that's why I said earlier, I think it's subjective. Like, it's not. I'm not saying
subjective.
that y'all need it or anybody needs their hand held. I just mean that it's a little bit easier to digest if it's a different director. But I think that for some people it landed, and for other people it's like, oh, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those Mo, like when we talk about that, there's a lot of people who look at that and they don't know. No, not even the cut to black. Okay. The literal I get it moment. There's people who still watch Sopranos and like, what does he mean by that? And I think this is that version of this for this. Like, what do you mean wake up? Like, you know what I mean? It's also like, whatever you picked up is how you got there. Yeah. And it's just left for interpretation. And I think it could mean a million things. I think all four of us could be right based on what we view. And I think that was the point he was trying to make.
And you may be right. And y'all may be right. I guess it's again, it's just the thing that he does, the heavy-handed part of it, where it's like, wake up. It's like, okay, wake up. Which part are we supposed to wake up to? You know what I mean? And that's all I'm saying. It's like, wake up to everything. Wake up to this thing of forcing your girlfriend to sleep with a recruit. We're talking about Greek life, or wake up to it. It's just like, you leave it there. You're supposed to like, and then y'all quadruple down on the wake up. And it's like, you're not specific. I ain't saying you got to lead us all the way to the specific point, but like, y'all could give us Easter eggs, but they're not Easter eggs. Y'all, it's like 12. It's like
the social issues going on.
But it's like it just don't land. It's like, oh, this light skin, dark skin war, this colorism. This
gonna keep making this point that it doesn't land, and we're gonna keep making the point that is subjective, because it lands where you feel it lands. Like, for me, it does. For you, it doesn't. For Ash, she didn't like the way it was portrayed, but she feels like she got where he was trying to go with it. She just didn't like the presentation. And then it's a matter of taste. Either you get it or you don't. But
it's not a get it or you don't. It's if you receive it or you don't. It's not a if you get it or don't. He's not that deep. He's not that deep to get it or don't. It's not. Spike Lee's not that deep. Like it's if you like it or you don't.
I have to disagree because I think he is, and I think that it's just not everybody's cup of tea.
That's what I'm saying. I'm with you on that, but it's not a you're not deep enough or you are.
I'm not saying that you're not deep enough. I'm just saying that everybody's not going to have the same, isn't going to view his art the same way or take the same things from his art or the way he presents it. But you can't make a summation of his art that is finite because you don't like it, because it doesn't land for you, because you don't think it's that deep. But you can't really say that because you don't necessarily digest or like the way that he presents the art form. It's just a matter of what you like versus what you don't, or what you took from it versus what what you didn't.
Yeah, I'm no authority. I'm not claiming myself as an authority. So
that's the beautiful thing about this. Everybody's right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm no authority. So that's me. I mean, it could come off like real double down, triple down, but I'm no authority. Like you said, like Spike, like Rich said, everybody's right. So I'm not claiming as authority. I'm just speaking how I speak. Sometimes it can come off real whatever, but I'm no authority.
Yeah, we're very dappish.
Yeah, like I'm no authority. Like there's thousands of people that feel differently. So I'm no authority. Lastly, more of the story in your opinion. Ash.
I think the wake up was him just saying like pay attention to like what's going on in your community as well as what's happening to the community. So I think overall that's what I grasped from the film. Like, not what's only happening to us, but within, our community. So
okay. Mia.
So I just chose to quote the late great James Baldwin. To be a Negro in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a rage almost all of the time.
Man, that's a fact.
Damn. Goodness gracious. It's like a Dick Gregory line. Rich, more so in your opinion?
We can do more together than we can apart. Focus on, what I mean? Keep the main thing the main thing. And I think that's what all of this really boils down
to.
I like it. My moral of the story is it comes specifically from Dap and his friends. You can still enjoy the same world that you're trying to save. It's not mutually exclusive. This has changed my life. Like this whole concept of you can still enjoy the same world that you're trying to change. And that's all they was trying to tell them in 88 was like, bro, I get it. They said, bro, we'll show up in the morning. But tonight, like, bro, we trying to politic with some women. Yeah. That's a part of it too. The experience is broader than what you're making it. So it's a beautiful movie in that sense of layers. We want more layers because this movie's that interesting, but that's what I get. So you can still enjoy the same world that you're trying to save.
Yeah, some people that same scene. I think there was a quote where he said, "Some people are tired of fighting, but life requires a fight."
That's a fact too.
You know what I mean? That's just a bar.
Like that's what I said. Spike Lee is so brilliant because why he has these moments that don't age well and arguably cringy. He has these moments that's like, bro, that shit deep. You know what I mean?
Now he deep.
No, I'm saying no.
I'm messing with you.
I'm saying, hey, hold up. I said he ain't deep enough to be like, I can't follow. That's all
I want to say. You see, I'm trolling. I'm just trolling. I know. I'm just trolling.
Get it going, man.
But nonetheless, man, that is our episode. Of course, we can't leave y'all before we give y'all the reveal of our next film. And the floor is ashes. We're getting to our hood film movies. This is a new category along with the one that Mia suggested with our back to school. So we do not discuss this before we do it on air. So this is a real-time reaction, real-time reveal. The floor is yours, Ash.
All right, so I'm excited for this rotation of our hood movies. And we're going into September, which is both of our parents' birthdays, Mia's birthday. So I said, why not do my mom's favorite movie that falls into our category, but also in the month of her birthday? So we're going back to 1991 with the classic film New Jack City.
Hey! Soon as you said mama's favorite, I knew exactly where you was going. I was like, yes, sir. Let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Mia B, how you feel about that?
Listen, this movie went triple platinum in my eyes as well. Mama is a huge lover of New Jack City. Oh, yeah, this is a classic. Another one with quotables and just cultural references that just go so deep.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm excited about this.
Rich, y'all reviewed this already?
Nope, we still haven't got it.
God dang.
This shit bigger than Big Rich Town. All right.
I almost went somewhere different, but I was like, nah.
That's a fire one. That's a fire pick, man.
Yeah.
It's a nice, yeah, that's a great one. That's a great one.
Well, our big cuz from the Culture Garden podcast, y'all subscribe over there right now. Big Rich,
man.
Bruh, appreciate you coming on here, man, having a little fun, just being childish with us for a couple of hours, you know what I mean? I know you better we all got to get back to adulthood, but we try to get childish for our couple of hours every Tuesday. So, man, thank you, big bro,
Listen, hopefully I didn't disappoint, man. You know,
man. You don't never.
Man, you know, just trying to show up.
Never.
Hey,
just a little something, man.
Hey,
just trying
man.
to hold my own with y'all. Just trying to hold my own.
Hey, you've been in this thing for a while. You know what I'm saying?
Look at that.
You know what I mean?
He's good.
So shout out to Big Rick, our big cuz. Shout out to you, Mia B. Shout out to you, Ash Bash. Shout out to the Stoop Kids. Thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. Look, y'all ain't got to leave, but you definitely got to get the hell up out of here. Talk to y'all next week. Peace out.